are recording at Frosted Nug Productions. This is our general trigger warning. This podcast discusses death, child loss, suicide, mental health, and grief. We are not trauma professionals or therapists. We offer no professional advice, and our opinions do not reflect the opinions of our employers or their associates. We are just two friends with a lot of life experiences who want to help others. Welcome to Because of Eli. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Erica.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Welcome back to the studio.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
It has been a little bit.
Yeah.
Life's been a little busy.
Yes.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll record a whole bunch in a week and a half. How about that?
Yeah. Sounds good. That's already the plan.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, Amy, we have guests.
We do.
Do you want to introduce our guests?
I do. We have Brock and Brad that are here with us today.
There's
here.
no audience. I don't
Yes,
know. What
it's
am I
okay.
waving at?
You wave at
Just-
whoever
There's
you
some-
want. It's fine.
We'll
Do it
all
all the
wave,
time.
and then you won't feel awkward.
Slow
America.
audience.
Brock and Brad are here to talk about their mom, Margie, but also your feelings as well about the loss of your mom, and share a little bit about your mom, or share a lot about her, because there's a lot to share. She's a pretty amazing woman.
There is.
Yeah. So typically we start with what have we done for ourselves.
Different podcast. Different podcast.
Sure is. So are you guys ready for that, or would you like us to start?
I can go.
Okay.
Oh, right.
All
He did his
All
homework.
he does is
Yeah.
stuff for himself.
Yeah.
I do things for myself all the time. I have no problem doing things for me.
Good. Good.
Something that I've done recently started probably about 6 months to a year ago, probably around the time Mom passed. Really, is I started a Tai Chi routine that I do in the morning. It's just 10 minutes, just helps me stretch and get moving, and gets me ready for hard day in the ER. I'm an RN as well, working in the ED, so gets me ready to go. And I play golf once a week too.
We could
Clear my
sample
mind.
that Tai Chi right now. It's cameras. The people I
Yeah,
waved at want to
yeah.
hear it and want to see it.
That's a paid podcast. That one.
It's behind
I
a
get money
paywall.
for that one. Yeah.
Do you find it relaxing? I've never done it.
Absolutely. I actually I found a guy on YouTube. Is this little teeny tiny monk man? I don't know what his name is, and it's not called Tai Chi on his thing. But I just typed Tai Chi and this thing came up. It starts with a Q. I don't even know how to say it. Honestly.
Okay.
But I watched like 4 or 5 of his videos, and then after doing that, I've picked out all the moves I like to do, and then I've put together like my own 10-minute routine that I do in the backyard, or if it's cold out, I do it inside my basement or whatever.
So
Real
we
estate
find
value just went up.
Yeah. Yeah.
your neighbors love it.
The
I'm
neighbors
sure.
have gotten pretty good Tai Chi shows. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they're following along or not. But
Oh, they
Yeah.
are.
And
They
we
are.
find him under Teeny Tiny Monk Man
Yeah.
on YouTube. Is what.
Yeah.
I forget what his name is. I just typed Tai Chi.
This
This
thing
little guy.
get canceled after today. I promise you
He's
that.
he's
There's no
super
way.
calming and relaxing. He's centered, and I'm like, man, I want to be like that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I keep doing that. So I do that. I try and do it like 4 times a week at least.
That's
Definitely before I go to work in the morning.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I do that, and I play golf as much as I can. It's almost borderline madness addiction at
Yeah.
this point. It's how much golf I play. I swing a golf club probably at least every day.
Yeah, you'd
But
think you'd be a lot
it's-
better at it.
You'd think
No
so.
improvement. Got
Yeah.
it.
Crazy. Ups and downs.
Yeah, I didn't say I was good at it, but
Is there good at
Keep
Tai
trying.
Chi, or is it just
I hope not.
You do
'cause- Yeah, I hope not, because the way I'm doing it is how it's going to happen. So,
I'll solicit
Well,
feedback
there's-
from the neighborhood?
whether it's right or yeah. You might want to watch that. There's ring cams. Might have a lot
Satellite
of
imagery.
Yeah, some
Neighbors
drone.
are recording
It might be-
us.
Those are
The
behind an
fence, we love the
OnlyFans
pool.
wall.
Dude, next door.
It could be some
Out there at
unauthorized
5
drone
a.m.
footage.
shirtless doing Tai Chi. I don't.
It's not usually shirtless. Unless it's
Should
a
be.
robot.
Usually.
Not
So it's
usually. So
happening.
Not always
sometimes.
shirted either.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, Tai Chi has no bounds, as far as I know. Not the way I do it, anyways.
So follow Little Teeny Monk Man.
Yeah, something like that. Well,
On OnlyFans.
I'll see if I can find it. Give it to Amy.
Okay.
We can post it so you get the right guy.
Yeah.
I don't want you doing the wrong little
Yeah.
teeny tiny monk
Well,
man
that's what I was-
routine.
God forbid you follow the wrong Tai Chi
Teeny
master.
tiny. Yeah.
Yeah, that could go
Don't
wrong in a
Google
lot
that.
of ways.
You don't know what you're going to find on the internet.
Yeah.
Could have used him. We were setting our monks.
I'll look it up.
That half hand.
I'll
Kinda
YouTube
hands.
It's a full hand of his.
That's true.
I'll look him up, and I'll make sure we get the right for your listening audience.
Yes.
So they do. If they decide to do my Tai Chi
Yes.
routine, which is very helpful, by the way.
Yeah. Relaxing.
Make sure we get the right guy.
In case
Yes.
they like what they're hearing.
Yeah.
And they also want to do
Yeah.
Tai Chi in their
Or
backyard.
if you just want to look at the guy and be like, I can't believe he said that on.
My alarm is set for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm coming over to the house. You won't know I'm there, but I'll be there.
I love
Peering
it.
That's
through the
how the
fence.
OnlyFans starts.
That's
Yes.
it. I'm making some money off of it.
Yes.
Hey, I got bills to pay. It's all right. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I do for myself. Tai Chi and golf. That's pretty
I
much
love it.
And time
Good
with
one.
my family. That's always
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. And your family's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're good people.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. Younger brothers.
Yeah.
I don't do Tai Chi. I don't even know what it is. They
Clearly.
showed me 3 different types of stuff.
Look at his form. You can tell by the way he moves through the room. He just that's not.
Well,
a
that
Tai Chi
actually
guy.
is probably because of what I did for myself.
Okay.
Oh.
I do
Yeah.
myself for myself.
Okay.
Got a massage today.
Oh.
Went to a spa first time in well over 12 months.
Very nice.
Maybe 18 months.
Very nice.
Been doing some constructions, renovation work, leveraging muscles I haven't used in a very long time. And man, I really felt it. So it was nice.
Good.
Hadn't done anything like that for a very long time. So that's what I did for myself. And so when he said, "What'd you do for yourself? You got to talk about it on podcast." It's like, oh, I guess that.
Yeah.
Leaving a massage right now.
That's perfect.
I'm going to go back in and get a second
Check
Yeah.
that box.
That's
And
for
you
the
said you
podcast.
didn't do any homework for this.
Yeah.
one. I didn't know.
You were
If massages were homework, I would have done a lot better. in school. I would have been much more successful. But still, here I
True.
sit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at me now. So that's what
I
I did.
love it.
Very relaxed.
love
it.
Ready to go.
So what I did for myself, I worked out in my garden, my flower beds. I love doing that, but I've also become obsessed with birds. I feel like that's like as you get older, it's like an
It
obsession.
is.
And-
This is
my mom
very
was. I
on
know
brand.
she was all
Yeah,
about
this
birds,
is
man. She
very
had
on
bird-
brand for Margie. Sorry.
Bird feeders
Yes.
everywhere.
My
Yeah.
wife now's got the app.
Yes,
That's what I was getting ready to say. I
I'll get
have
like
an
a random
app.
text.
We have
Hey,
the
this
app.
is the bird. I'm like,
Yep.
That's
we
what
have
I'm
the
shut
saying.
it
app.
up. I don't
Yep.
care. Just make it be
I'm,
quiet.
just,
at
I'm
the
trying
time.
to get milk right now.
No, it needs to
Yeah.
be louder
Can you
because I
talk
need
back
to get
to
it.
it?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we'd really like to.
Like this one's only found in South America, but it's in my yard. It says so.
Yeah, the other day, what was it, like a Cooper's hawk?
Oh yeah.
I was so excited, and it
A
had a
hawk?
little like
How did Cooper let it go?
star
all the
sign,
way to your house?
stars in its eyes, like whoo, like we
Don't
had
you have a
this thing.
small dog? You might want to watch that dog run.
I know, right?
Like it.
Yeah, and it said that it hunts bird feeders, so I'm constantly.
Don't
That's what
all
I would do.
birds
If I
hunt
was
bird
a dog,
feeders.
that's what I would hunt.
Can
If
you
I'm a
hunt
bird, I'm hunting
something
bird
that stays
feeders.
still?
Smart.
Well, they're hunting the birds at the bird feeder.
Oh.
Yeah. So Jack's like, you're
you're
literally
baiting it.
fattening
You're
up
feeding
his
it.
dinner.
We are baiting for this
Yeah.
hawk. Hawk's setting up
Just
deer
created a
cams
feeder.
everywhere to try and.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
so
I mean, it's part of the circle life. They got to eat too, right?
that's what I said. I was like, circle of life.
You know what
Birds eat
keeps
the
them
hawk.
away?
You're
Everybody
excited about the
that.
little birds,
Tai
just
Chi
to
in the
bring the big
backyard.
birds.
Do
Yes.
some Tai Chi back there.
Sounds
Not
like her
saying how many
garden
hawks
is a
you got
good
in your
spot for
backyard.
I
Tai
mean,
Chi.
Yeah.
you won't need a scarecrow.
Not a single one. He moves so slow, it's like one.
Yeah. Just,
But centered.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
So try
Very
and push him over
centered.
right now.
well,
Won't be able to do
can't
it.
do it.
Impossible. It's not happening.
Love it.
Glued to the seat.
Excellent.
Erica.
Mine is not at all exciting. No,
Oh.
that's true.
No,
It's
yours
very
is
exciting.
very exciting.
No, we went on our big grad trip, me and my daughter, and went to Florida where it was unbearably hot, but it was good. We went to Universal and did the new park and did the old parks, and she's just such a trooper. Her and I can open and close theme parks, and we did. We went in at 9 and we're done our second park by 1:30 in the morning.
I
Wow.
believe
So-
it. Jack and I did Disney and Universal
Yep.
with Erica and her husband, and it was a very fun but exhausting trip.
Yep.
Also on brand, the itinerary that Margie would put out for.
Oh,
100%,
really?
100%.
And
I
I've done
mean-
Disney with your mother,
Yeah.
so yeah,
She's like, when
very
we're kids,
similar.
she's handing an 11-year-old a printed version
Sure.
of.
This is your clipboard of
This is
fun.
your
Don't lose it.
Mom,
No.
Be on
travel
time.
agent, but
Be on time for everything.
You can't trust anyone with a printed copy. You just have to say, be up and out the door at this time, and then
Yeah.
you lead them to where they need to go.
Yeah.
Now they got the app on the phone.
Yes.
They make
Yeah.
it so easy.
Yes.
When we were with Erica and her husband, we would be obviously following behind because she's in charge. And Jack's like, where are we going? I'm like, I don't know. We were just following Erica.
And you had a great time,
We did.
didn't you?
We had a
You
blast.
didn't have to worry about it at all.
And it was the same when I went with
100%.
Margie.
That-
Really?
That's almost
Same.
identical to the way
Yeah.
my mom does Disney.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
for 100%. It's
Yeah.
like everybody needs to follow me. I'm
Yeah.
going to wear a bright shirt today. So
Yes,
you guys know
I
it's
said
like
I need a
yellow
little
or
flag at
whatever,
some
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
But I think we waited in one line each day because of everything that you can do to
Yeah.
not wait in lines.
Yeah.
But yeah, one line
Yeah.
each day. Everything else
But
was walk on.
She had the entire trip planned out. Like, I didn't know what we were doing. Didn't know what we
Well,
were
that's what
doing.
she did. She was a travel agent. That was like
Yeah.
her favorite thing, you know, when
yeah.
she was the Disney specialist. It was like the perfect job for her. So, and it rubbed off on me, actually. I went down a couple of years ago. My kids were the right age,
Yeah.
I think. Like 7 and 8 or something like that. And we went down and I had everything planned. I'm up early and like on the app.
Yes.
I'm like, wait, this isn't me.
Yeah.
I'm doing this.
It's your
But
mom.
you
worked
gotta
out,
make the
yeah.
magical
100%,
experience
yeah.
for
And I
your
love
kids,
that you
right?
used your daughter's graduation trip as your thing you did for yourself this week.
Of
Too.
course.
That counts.
Because I got a trip with an 18-year-old who I didn't have to worry about, and she could just come when she was. I said, if you sleep in, I'm leaving without you, and she said, okay, that's fine. She knows what's going on.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah.
That is great.
No, it was nice. I don't know what I'm going to do when she leaves for college. It's my ride or die, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
I told my 10-year-old, I'm like, okay, so you're going to have to start going to shows with mommy.
Yeah, you need
And
to
he-
step up.
Yeah,
You need to
I'm
be a
like,
big kid
I don't
now.
know who
Yeah.
else I'm going to see musicals with, who's going to concerts with me. And he's like, how old was Loretta when she started? I'm like, 10.
Yeah.
How old are you right now?
It was
Yeah.
definitely 10.
Yeah.
It was definitely
Yeah.
the age you are now. And
Yes.
he's like, all right.
This is the shirt she wore. When
I'm like, I will get you McDonald's on the way.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go.
And then you
Sold.
will be fine.
Yeah. Sold.
He's already done the concerts and stuff, so he's ready to go.
Yeah.
He's learned.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, good. And that means we are all relaxed and centered and ready to go.
that's right.
Tai Chi
Did some chai tea.
Yeah.
Inside your mind.
or chai tea.
Chai tea is what I do,
Yeah.
not the
I'll
Tai
do
Chi. I do
Yeah.
the chai tea.
I was
see
going
what
to
you
say
did there.
chai tea. Yeah.
Yep.
Tai Chi. I don't know.
I don't know. I need that translation, what they mean, because something's got to be there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
It means,
Chai means tea.
means awesome.
That's some homework for you, Brock. You got to let us all know.
All right.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
Great.
I'll look
We'll
it up.
advance.
Yeah.
Advance. Tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. You'll get there.
Yeah.
When he's Googling up
Yeah.
teeny tiny monk
Teeny
man.
tiny monk
Chai.
Yeah.
Tai Chi.
You're gonna want to jump off Wi-Fi for that private network.
Yeah.
This is going well
Sorry.
so far. No, you're good.
So, who would like to start? Would you like to start talking about your mom? and
Yeah, I
a
guess
little bit
probably
about
the
her?
best way is I can kind of give you a synopsis about kind of what she was like.
Yeah.
And then I'll just kind of go into like the disease process a little bit, talk about that.
Yeah.
He's known her so much longer than me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
ages.
it like 3 years?
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 years. 3 years longer.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People keep telling us that we look alike. We're twins. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
I don't feel like I had
And you're
enough-
like, I'm so much younger.
well, I keep telling myself like, well, he's not getting better looking. So that must mean that I'm getting a lot worse looking.
Well, I saw
I
him
look
today.
older now.
He took his hat off. I was like, welcome to the Salt and Pepper Club,
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, well, we're
got
back on now.
Plenty of salt now. and
Yeah.
Too much sodium in that head.
I was painting a white ceiling, bro.
Yeah.
Come on,
Oh,
just-
that's
it's a
what it.
serious
That's
must
what it
be
was.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a serious.
Yeah.
So I kind of give a little synopsis of like kind of her life and then
Yeah.
her disease process and kind of how that all went down. And then Brad, Amy, I mean, you guys knew her too. Like as I go through, interrupt me as I go. And if I get it wrong, let me know, I guess.
I'll try. I usually don't.
So yeah. So mom was born August 28th back in 54. She had 3 other siblings, 2 older brothers, 1 younger sister. And I actually didn't know this, but at her funeral, my uncle spoke and talked about a period in their lives when they were younger where my grandmother got sick and she like stepped up and was like the mom of the house, being like the third youngest. And I never knew that until
Yeah, same.
until her funeral when he talked about that. He spent probably like 15 minutes talking about that whole
Yeah, and then when the
period of
cousins
their
were
life.
real young, I guess she was like, because he had gone through a divorce, and I think she was a big part of their lives. Then when we were also we were babies too, so
Yeah.
it was kind of cool at the funeral to hear everyone's
Yeah, because I mean, again, like you guys talk about too, it's like
Yeah.
after someone passed away, you don't get new memories unless
Exactly.
you hear stories from someone else who
Right.
had a memory of them you weren't there for. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's
Yeah, it's so precious
that was
to
part
hear.
of that. Yeah. So yeah, she had 4 siblings. She married her high school sweetheart, my dad. They were together for, I think they made it 50 years before she
Just
passed.
before 50. It would have been 50.
It was 49-ish.
Yeah, it was
49
almost
plus.
50, yeah.
Married her high school sweetheart. And then late April in 79, best day of her life ever. I was born. Made her a mom. A couple years later, you know, some ragtag.
Team members
Yeah.
came along.
Yeah.
The 18 member.
Someone who stole all my stuff came along.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was a great mom. I didn't realize, I think, until I like became a grown up, like how lucky we
Crazy.
had it as
Crazy. I couldn't keep up.
we had awesome parents.
Scoutmaster, youth group leader, everything. I mean, everything.
She wanted to be-
coaches.
she wanted to be a
volunteered
part
in
of
the
all of it.
ambulance. She did. I mean, we grew up in the like we were all over the place. Ambulance hall. She ran like, okay, you want to do Boy Scouts? Well, they didn't just like enroll us in Scouts. She was the Scout troop leader, like for all this stuff. Same thing with youth group and like, you know, organizing the youth trips, not just like being there. And I am very much lazy compared to like
Yeah.
and I try and hold myself to that standard, but I'm falling so short as a parent.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. I don't even see how it's possible to
Yeah.
do that. And
Yeah,
Dad
she
owns
did
his own
everything.
business.
She
He's-
organized it
it's
all.
Crazy.
She loved, her favorite thing in the world was to go on vacation.
Yeah.
She loved vacation. As soon as we would get home from vacation, she would start planning the next one. And I think that's one of the reasons she got a job. One of her many jobs. She was a travel agent for quite some time. This was way before, like, you know, Expedia and the interweb and the Matrix and all that stuff. You had to call a travel agent who would buy your tickets for you and set everything up. And she loved doing that. That was like her perfect job. And she was the Disney expert at her travel agency, which even better, because every time Disney built something new, they're like, "Hey, you gotta come check this thing out." She's like, "I'll be there tomorrow."
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We were pretty burnt out on Disney. I mean, I was by like my junior, senior high school. I think I'd been like 26 times.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Well, we can't afford to go now. Anyway,
now
so-
it's-
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yeah,
It was good then.
but yeah,
Good
but
while
back
lasted.
she would go to Disney probably, I don't know, once a year at least.
Yeah, she
probably
went on
check
like
out
the
new
maiden
stuff,
voyage
yeah.
of the cruise line. She went when they opened up. When they opened up a new resort, they bring all the, you know, agents down to try and push the product. She was very happy doing that for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So like Shaw said, she was a great mom. She was always there, and you know, Dad too. But Dad owned his own business, so he worked long hours. So Mom was always there for everything. She was the one cooking everything, and I think that's probably from her. I feel like is where I got my desire to want to be a nurse, to be like a healer, because she was always the one. Like they volunteered for the ambulance squad, and they did that for several years, and that's volunteer work. You know,
Yeah.
they're not getting paid for that. They did it because they liked helping people.
Yeah, I think Dad was in the fire company too. I don't know if she was in that. I know she definitely was Reliance Ambulance, and they were like in it. They
Yeah.
didn't just like go on a couple calls. They were there all
Yeah,
the time.
like on the
call.
board and all that
Our
stuff,
childhood
like,
was
yeah.
there. I mean,
Yeah.
we're in the ambulance hall just.
Yeah, we
because
spent
they're-
half our
yeah.
childhood running around the ambulance hall, just
Yeah.
in between
there,
you
the
know,
church
playing
for
with
the
stuff.
youth group. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't like looking back now as a parent. That's I think what you're talking about here is like,
Holy
oh,
cow!
yeah,
That's so
oh,
much
that's
stuff.
crazy. She always was running. They both were always running, but yeah, Dad was always at the shop. So
And Dad was always
Follow her.
baseball coach, you know, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
they were always all about it. They were full in.
you'd
on
think
the
it would
family
have turned
thing,
out
yeah.
better.
Yeah, yeah. You think it was? There's still time. There's still time for you.
No, you two are amazing, both of you.
Yeah, I was baiting for
Yeah.
that. Just like that hawk.
Yeah. Just give him lots of reinsurance. You'll have a happy guest on your
Okay.
hands.
That's it.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Keep the talent where it belongs. Right here.
So through that time, she had a lot of jobs. She was a dental tech, EMT, travel agent. She worked for Dr. Black at the
Yes.
reception. She liked to, she liked being a part of her community. You know, she just loved being around people and just doing for other people. That was just always hers, how she spent most of her life, you know. And then I guess when she first, so my mom passed away from her battle with ALS. She was first kind of showed symptoms.
Her hands. She was having a hard time gripping stuff.
Yeah.
And like she kept complaining about like a numb feeling in her like hands and arms. And then she was getting all these tests, and they couldn't figure anything out. I don't know if she had any other symptoms. You know?
Yeah, I remember. So I remember it's burned into my memory that I'll never forget the first time I saw the symptom of what killed her.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was that at the time, but I saw what happened. It was, we were all camping because that's one of her things. Like we love to go camping. So it was August in 2020. We were camping, which was hard because it was, COVID times.
Yeah.
It was only like half the campground was allowed to be there, this and that. And this particular campground was one that had like water park and stuff in it. So, and it was all of us. It was me, my family, Brad's family, mom and dad. We're all camping at the same place and going to the water park. And I'll never forget, me and mom went to the snack shop to get a bunch of stuff for the kid. We got, fries, chicken fingers, whatever. So we were carrying this stuff back to where everybody else was. And I'll never forget, they had it was like a porch, like a big long deck, but there was like 2 steps to go up, but they were big long steps. So we were kind of like coming up the steps, like kind of catty corner, like sideways. And she went to step up the step, and her foot didn't go all the way up, but she hit the step and she fell. And she hit the steps hard. She was like, wham. And I was like, holy, are you okay? What happened? Like she hit the ground, and she looked up at me. She's like, oh my gosh, I guess she just didn't get the step right. And I was like, okay, you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm okay. We're good. I'm fine. I was like, okay. So we picked her up. We got back to the thing, and we went back. And she's like sitting there. I'm like, me being the nurse, I was like, let me assess you.
Yeah.
Like, let me do a head to toe real quick. Let me see where you're at. Did you hit your head? Are you bleeding? That kind of stuff. So we were just kind of saying, she's like, I'm fine. I feel okay. I'm good. And then later on, she's like, yeah, that was just the weirdest thing. Like my foot wouldn't go where I wanted it to go. Like it's not like I missed a step. Like my foot didn't go as high as my brain told it to lift. And I was like, okay. So again, me being the RN, I'm like, all right, this is like you're a stroke alert right now. Like
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, how do you feel now? She's like, I feel okay now. Like I'm feeling okay now. It's okay. I was like, all right, well, because we were camping. We were like ways from home. So I was like, all right, well, you need to see a doc as soon as we get back. So she did. And they went to the doc. They did CTs and MRIs, all kinds of, the testing you wouldn't normally expect the doc to do
She
for
had
that.
like a real bad headache that weekend too, didn't she?
Yeah, I think so. There was a couple things kind of popped up. And so she went and got these tests and went to the doc. And they basically were like, oh, we're diagnosed she was like a stroke or like TIA or whatever. I'm like, okay. And I was like, as a nurse, I'm like, it makes sense. Like the symptoms she has, it sounds strokey,
Right.
So, all right, well, we'll just get into PT. We'll get into rehab. Let's get the strength back, whatever we got to do. And then a couple weeks later, after that, that kind of diagnosis, she was saying to me, she's like, it's getting worse. And I was like, well, wait, what do you mean it's getting worse? Like stroke doesn't get worse unless you had another stroke.
Yeah.
But she's like, yeah, my leg is it's really, really hard for me to move it now. And then so she ended up going to some more specialists, seeing some neurologists. And I think that was one of the parts of her journey that was really difficult for her because it took a long time to get the diagnosis of ALS. Like 6
months or something.
Yeah, it was a long time of
they
just
testing.
They
want to rule everything else out. I mean, it makes sense because it's
the worst possible thing it could be. We don't want
Yeah.
it to be that. So let's find that last, I guess, is kind of the way her care went.
Right.
So eventually they did end up doing, I wrote it down here. See, I did do my homework.
I know. I love that.
There was, so the test that they kind of do
He
for,
didn't work on his penmanship.
don't you, nobody else to read it but me. It's all right.
Type it up.
Chicken
Got a
scratch over
computer
here.
right here.
So the test that they do is called electromyograph. And I've never seen this test done before, but apparently it's like a needle electrode that they put it into the muscle. And then they track how fast, I guess, the muscle reacts to it. I mean, I'm sure I'm probably getting this wrong, but it's essentially that. And this test can test how fast the sensation is moving across the nerve. So, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, ALS is amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. That's what it's called, ALS.
We get a spelling on that.
Yeah, no, you can't.
In fact, on the script I was given,
ALS.
it's crossed out and rewritten.
Right,
so
yeah, it had to be
no, we're
respelled
not
once
spelling
already.
it.
So basically, essentially, what that disease process is the nerves that transmit the signals from your brain to your muscles are what dies. It's not your brain, it's not your muscles, it's the nerve that has to send the signal is what eventually withers and dies. But that happens at such a slow rate. It takes a long time for it to happen, which is absolutely horrible. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, it's not like, the bullet to the head. It's not this, that. It's a very, very slow, and your body just kind of withers away with you over a long period of time.
You don't get to pick and choose which it is either. Like,
Yeah.
for her, okay, she had that issue with walking, which is terrible. She actually was able to walk a lot longer. And the symptom that I recall was, she just couldn't grip this, right? She'd go to pick something up and it would fall, like, which everybody does. Numb hands.
Yeah,
you know,
I
things
remember
like that.
having lunch with her and Rebecca. We were having lunch and she was trying to lift something
Yeah.
and just showing us that she couldn't even grip it.
Yeah,
to
we didn't
pick it
know
up.
at that time, I
Yeah.
guess, what that was. But,
Yeah.
sometimes it happens right to the lungs 1st, and then that person perishes, like, way early. They don't really experience it. For
Yeah.
her, it seemed like everything was just one thing taken after another. The walking, the speech, the and I'm sure you'll get into all that. But, like, I mean, I'm sure that there's maybe more cruel disease out there, but, man, you'd be hard-pressed to find it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it was tough to watch
absolutely.
for
Yeah,
that long.
because your mind is still there. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I
and
feel like that's what makes it so difficult. Is you're still there.
100% the
Yeah.
whole time. She was there
Yeah.
all the way. And then we've already talked a little bit about how active she was, like, in the community and all that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if you want to talk about, like, the best grandmom, she was the grandma. Like, if she had, like, thankfully for us, we don't have 15 kids, but if we did have, she had 15 grandkids. She
She'd be like,
wanted
"Bring
them
'em
all
all
at the
over,
same
let's go."
time,
Yeah.
4 days, not like, oh, come get them after a day or two. She
Yeah.
was just that person. So active, out in her garden.
Yes.
Even at, she was getting a little older.
Yeah.
She was just into that. So again, for her, just such a cruel,
Yeah,
way for that to happen.
Her and I, after work, we used to go on bike rides.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
miles. And, like,
Yeah.
she
Just
was a
roll.
very active person. We used to go to the gym together.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
very active.
Dad still has her bike at the house.
He
Yeah.
got it all
Still
tuned
there.
up.
Yeah.
He just, I
Ask
think
him
he
how
just,
often he rides it.
yeah, it don't matter. It looks good.
It
though.
does look
It looks like it came from the shop.
It does.
Like it came from the brand new already. Still,
Yeah.
it's
He
got,
rode
it's
it
got
a
a
couple
grease up.
times.
Yeah. So after they did this test, this electromyography, that's when. So this was a neurologist had ordered that, and the neurologist called her, and he was the one who kind of like gave her the news. Like he's like, look, this test is kind of definitive. It's ALS. Like this is the worst phone call I have to make to my patients. I don't ever want to have to make this phone call, but that's what we got. So it was August when, like I said, that's when we were camping and she fell, and that was her first sign that this is, what's going on. It wasn't until that December when I got the phone call from her that it was ALS.
Yeah.
And I remember because I was in my room. I think everybody else was gone. I think the kids were at school or something. I was in my room. I was wrapping presents. And she called me. She said, hey, she's crying. And she's like, it's ALS. And I'm thinking, like, I didn't know much about ALS. Even then, I'm an RN. I've been an ER nurse for a long period of time. I've seen a lot of stuff. But it just didn't click to me that it was ALS. I was thinking like it was a form of leukemia or like cancer or something. I was like, I'm like, well, there's got to be ways to treat it. It's like they put gazillion dollars into this kind of research all the time. She's like, no. She's like, I got 5 years. So, and I was like, wait a minute, that can't be right. That can't be right. And she's like, yeah. She's like, I'm not gonna see Scarlett get married. I'm not gonna see your kids grow up. And so she hung up, and even then I was still like, it doesn't seem right. It can't be right. So I'm Googling. I'm like, ALS. Like, what the hell is this? It can't be right. And sure enough, yeah, it's right. I got a couple facts and figures on that too. The average lifespan once you get diagnosed with ALS, because ALS is always in you. It's always there. You don't contract it. It's just there.
It could be hereditary too.
It's just dormant.
We could have it. Did
Yeah.
you get checked?
No, I don't think you
You
can.
look all right.
Yeah, I'm moving.
It's Tai Chi.
That's
will
the
bring it
Tai
out.
Chi.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You gotta
they-
stay limber.
Yeah. I don't know if you have ages on there, but it's usually like 40s, right?
Yeah,
40s
it's usually
Well, you passed
anywhere
that mark
between
a
like
while ago.
it's
Yeah.
usually like 20s to like 60s. I think is usually when you get diagnosed. But
Closer
once you
to
get
70.
diagnosed, you get like 2 to 5 years. some longer. Like Stephen Hawking actually had it. He lived for 55 years with it.
Wow.
But and that's the thing. I'll talk about the research and stuff too, and like the trial drugs and all. But like that's the biggest problem that they have, like trying to research this thing, is that it's different for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like Stephen Hawking, he would have like progression, but then he would plateau for a long period of time, and then have another progression and plateau for a long period of time. I feel like Mom's was a pretty steady progression from start to finish. Like from the time she tripped until the time we put her in the ground, it was pretty steady the whole way, I think.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the issues. It's like it's not everybody does it the same.
Because didn't like Eric Dane? It was like 6 months.
Yeah,
from
it's
diagnosis.
quick.
Yeah, some
His
are
was
quick.
really quick.
Yeah, I think there's been a couple people, in the area that have gotten it or had it rather.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot quicker than hers.
Yeah.
Hers lasted a long. She was around for a long time. And
Yeah.
then I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it, but we can talk probably for a long, long time about all this stuff. But you make these certain like goalposts, like okay, well, because you have to make a decision early on how you want it to end, because it is going to just take you at some point. But what state do you want to be in, or what state are you willing to go to before that ends? So.
Like, do you want to be on a feeding tube? Do you want to have a
that
ventilator
was
to be
one of them,
dependent
right?
on?
And she didn't want to be a burden to anyone because of just who she was, and as a family member, that you're not a burden. Like we'll do whatever. I mean, we're the burden, have been, but we'll do whatever.
Especially.
Me especially. Yeah, exactly. And you get to that line, and it's like, well, listen, Mom, especially like the feeding tube.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Right.
We got to that point. That was one. She was like, I don't want any tubes. She didn't want to like look like a patient or feel like she was one. But we got there, and we had learned how to deal with some of these other symptoms. We're getting around it, and it's like she's just not getting the nutrition that she needs, but she's still mentally, through the whole time, she was all the way with it. So it's like, it seems like a no-brainer. Like, let's just do the tube. It's not that big of a deal. And she did, and man, it was a huge improvement as soon as she did that, because now she's getting all the nutrients. She feels healthier again, and you get however much longer you get from it.
That was one of the things that was like worth it to buy you more time.
Yeah.
There are things you
certain
could
things
do
that
to
work,
buy you more time. You're like, nah, what's the point?
Yeah.
There's other stuff. It's like, okay, well, this is not too bad. And like the feeding tube is like, all right, you need this nutrition to keep going as long as you can.
And as scary as it sounds, it's really a very simple thing to manage at home.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. I mean, Dad had me to be like, hey, how do I do this? I'm like, hey, that's no problem. I do these all the time, So.
Yeah. And I remember the Christmas, she got 2 Christmases after she told me this was going to be her last Christmas.
Yeah.
I remember her saying, this is going to be my last Christmas. And she made it another Christmas.
Yeah, it's got to be a weird spot to be in. Like, we're all going to know that you're going definitively in the next 5 years, but not know exactly when, and you just have this stuff taken from you every day, a little bit more. It's like, okay, I got to prepare for the last one. I think, and again, we'll probably get into it, we all experience some level of being jaded multiple times throughout it, right? And it's like, when you get to the end, it's tough whether or not there's like no good way to look at it. Like, you don't want them to suffer anymore. They don't want anyone else to suffer, and everyone is so jaded. You don't get the visitors coming around anymore that you do. Like, it's such a mean disease. It's crazy.
It's so long
Yeah.
that it's just this prolonged grief. So it's like you almost get to the point where you're sitting in this grief for so long that you're like, well,
And
this
you're
is
in and
how it's
out
going
of
to
it.
feel forever. And you're like, this isn't how I want this relationship to go when I know that I have
Yeah.
a limited time, but you can't get out of it because there's no good measurable end.
Yeah, I think most people probably assume that they're going to bury their parents at some point. It's just like the manner. I never factored in that this could be the way that it happens.
Yeah.
It's such suffering that you have to watch, and there's nothing you can do. Everyone's super friendly, and when you see them out, anything you guys need, we'll do it. Like, none of us can do anything.
Yeah.
I appreciate you asking the question.
Yeah.
I appreciate you're there. But
Heard it 800 times this week.
yeah, every
Still
time I
nothing.
see somebody,
Yep.
You still can't do anything.
and then it
Yeah.
kind of puts it on you to like give them something to almost like
Like, well, my shoes
make
are
them
tied. I can
feel
use that.
Yeah.
I could use a Tai Chi partner.
Yeah.
You gonna
5
buy
a.m.
me a
in my
soda?
backyard.
Yeah.
Which
I
we
should have used that.
Yeah, that's
The
right.
bar's
You could buy
across
me
the
a
street.
beer,
It's,
right?
That's really where I do most of my.
That's where I grieve.
Yeah,
that's,
I do a lot of my
right.
grieve over there. Grieving.
I prepare for my caregiving tasks at the bar if you want to buy me a drink.
But it's a good point that you're making, because we've talked about it before, like putting that on the person, like, what can I do for you? And then just leaving it. Like, I don't know what I need.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, there's nothing that you can do.
Yeah, nothing you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wait with me till
Yeah.
you die. That's
Yeah.
about all we
Right.
can do. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a good point too, because not just in after they pass, but, you know, as, you know, she's struggling and, you know, battling this, just being there, sitting and just being with her, with your dad, with you guys, just being.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have the answers, but just be there.
Yeah, come talk like it's a normal
Yeah.
day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me some normalcy.
Yeah.
Or, and I mean, looking back, there might be things that you guys thought of now that would have been good then. And that might be some things that the audience may be interested in hearing. Like, as an example, hey, let me take your kids out to dinner so you can go spend time with your mom.
Yeah.
Or let me come and get her voice recorded in a Build-A-Bear before she loses it. You know, those types of things that somebody can do, those meaningful things that doesn't necessarily mean caregiving, but it means just doing something on the periphery that takes a little bit of stress off, or does something that you aren't thinking of in the moment because you're indebted in that grief.
Yeah, for sure. We kind of got a little bit lucky in a way. Like she did record and, you know, document a lot of things. Like once she knew what was happening, like, I'm about to die. So she started, like, you know, being a historian for her own self, which is good.
That's
so I have a
amazing.
lot of this stuff here, like kind of with me today, which is nice. So, actually, you know, this is probably a good time. I can read
Yeah.
one of her. So, Mom did. Oh no, I wasn't gonna do that just yet. I was gonna read this.
Getting ahead of me.
Slow your
Getting
roll.
ahead of
Yeah,
you.
come on.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I'll handle the
I'm
podcast.
sorry.
Thank
I'm
you
sorry.
very much.
Listen, he has a script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The conductor here.
Yeah. So one of the things that Mom did when she got diagnosed, she kind of dived headfirst into her faith and her church. She belonged to Woodstown Presbyterian, and a lot of things that she did was she wrote sermons, and on her computer. And I have a bunch of them here with me, but one of them she kind of explained in her words what it was like having ALS. So I was going to read like the transcript of what she had wrote to kind of illustrate, and kind of gives you a good visual of what it's like to be an ALS patient. So this comes from her sermon entitled "The Struggle is Real." So I'm just going to kind of read it mostly verbatim. I'm skipping a lot because it's like a really long sermon, but the part about living with ALS is, I think, what's important here. I would like to take you all on a journey today. I invite you all to join me for the next few moments on my journey of living with ALS. I'm sure those of you who know me are well aware of this horrible disease that I have been living with for the last 3 years, and I suspect that I will live with it until it takes my life. So for starters, let's do a quick review of the little I know about ALS. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis is a cruel terminal disease that strikes its victims like a thief in the night, without warning or reason. It is not hereditary or contagious, which actually it is. There's 10% chance it's hereditary, but everything else is just natural. Every patient has a different story, different experience, but the darkness at the end of the journey is the same. If you want to live in my world for a time, here's what you do. When you get home today, find your thickest oven mitts, put them on. Be sure to duct tape the rest so they won't fall off. Next, find some 10-pound weights and duct tape them to your forearms. Follow that up with a nice snug bungee strap holding your arms at your sides. Now remember, you have oven mitts on, so this will take a little bit more time than you think. Now, scratch something. Anything. No? Okay, sign something. Or write down your grocery shopping list. No? Okay, how about this? Drive somewhere. Anywhere. And how is feeding yourself working for you? It may not seem difficult at first, but at some point, a fork full of salad will seemingly weigh the same as a sack of flour. Prepare a meal. Make a bed. Gardening is completely out of the question. How about this? Hug someone. Or pet the dog. I'm certain you're getting the picture. The simplest tasks have become insurmountable. Remember, we still haven't gotten a label on whatever this problem is yet. The first time you trip on the stairs or stumble down the street or do a faceplant on the curb, you can look to a walker or a cane with a little less disdain. Eventually, your feet will feel like they weigh about 50 pounds each. Exhaustion discourages any plans for travel or socializing more than an hour. Even pushing a vacuum cleaner or folding laundry is next to impossible. In fact, all of my appendages move. I just can't move them. I can do absolutely nothing on my own. Wherever I am put and whatever position I am in is exactly where and how I will stay until I am moved again. Being outside in the beautiful weather carries the trade-off of a mosquito landing on my neck, a gnat up my nose, or an ant marching its way up my leg. I can't do anything about it. I can't blow my nose, brush my hair or teeth, feed myself, bathe or dress myself, but worst of all, I can no longer stand up. Even my own voice and speech are rapidly deserting me. I am left with a babble that no one can understand, and I hate the sound of it. I dare not laugh too hard, or I'll have a coughing spell that leaves me breathless and exhausted. And that is something that we experienced a couple times, like out in public. Like she would, like especially when she would laugh, like it would send her into this horrible like coughing fit where she would just turn purple in the face and she couldn't catch her breath for like the longest time until, it would be like a couple minutes before finally she was able to like take a deep breath and go back to herself.
Yeah, and the frustration that, she probably felt when she's trying to get a thought across, she let her thoughts, most times.
Yeah.
And the
Yes.
fact that,
Yes.
Yeah,
that,
She never held back
yeah,
on
she
that.
didn't pull any punches
No.
most of the time. And so, to try and repeat yourself to people that know you, and you know what I mean? Like if there's a language barrier, of course, that kind of stuff happens day to day. Everyone deals with it. But just like everything you're trying to say, the simplest thing, I just remember the hard part, I think, a couple times for me, it was like her and my dad. So again, my dad's pretty jaded. He's there with her all the time. And they would get so frustrated at each other over this stupid little thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, you want to just say, don't even worry about it. We'll get you like everything, or
Yeah.
just give up on this. But then it's like, where does that stop, right? Where do you tell her to give up on trying to get her message across? That's not the right thing to do either, right? And but then you see it causing these problems. So that was, I don't have a solution to that problem. It's just one of the other problems that came up throughout this whole thing. You're watching this kind of car crash, like, I got to get these two away from each other. But then I couldn't understand her either. So I was like, no, Dad, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
No one can understand him. He mumbles just all the time anyway. No one can understand
They're
him.
pretty
Like,
much the same.
takes
Better
your
be angry at
medicine.
him.
Yeah.
So she did have, luckily, kind of a lot of resources. I feel like, the only thing lucky about having ALS is that we live in a time where there's a lot of technology and ways to kind of help ease her disease. One of the many things that we use was there's like a voice computer, like you see like Stephen Hawking. It's like it's called an eye gaze computer, where it's a computer that gets mounted to her like mobility chair, and she can use her eyes to control it. And it's a legit computer. It's a full-on computer. Like she could use her eyes to go on Amazon and buy stuff. She was spending money like no one. She was getting. She did all the Christmas shopping at Paralyzed. Just it had her eye gaze just buying stuff on Amazon. But one of the cool things that they did was there was a company called, which I'm going to give. I got resources at the end.
Okay.
I listen to the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
I came prepared.
You know what's up.
I have resources at the end to give you. One of them is a company called Bridging Voice. And what they did, they set us up with the eye gaze computer. And what's kind of cool is you can do is record your voice before you lose it, so that this computer can use those things to synthesize your voice. So they gave us I think there was something like 300 phrases
crazy,
that were like stock phrases. Like, we need you to say all these because we use that to, if you want to write, she could type out things like one letter at a time. Like she typed out all of her sermons like one letter at a time.
Wow.
And then you hit the play button or hit go button or whatever it is, and it would just read that but it would be in her voice. So she was able to communicate that way, even though she had lost her voice, because there's probably halfway through is when she started to kind of lose her voice.
Slur, the slur turned into just, you couldn't understand what she was saying, and then you could, but it was just because you know what she was asking for anyway.
It was, she lived with a disease for I think 4 years. She suffered for 4 years, and it was probably about 2.5 through to she got the point where it's like, Mom, I can't hear what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to use your eye computer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was the thing too. She wanted to just speak to you, but I'd be like, Mom, I can't understand it. It's coming out mumbles. Use your eye computer. Is what it's there for.
Yeah.
But then the thing that was funny for me, when she would use the eye computer, she would want to write like full sentences, but it takes forever. Like, Mom, just hit the highlights, like food, pee, poop. Like, what?
Yeah.
I need to have some cereal, please.
Well,
like,
because that's your mom.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, I want
Proper.
to. I want to speak like a proper person.
Yes.
Like, well, we could be here for an hour and a half longer. We have to be.
Yeah.
But whatever.
We can also talk about the fact that she's in her late 60s learning how to do all of this,
man,
right?
yeah.
I mean, hey,
The two of them,
come
both of
unlock
them.
my phone into that turned into
Yeah.
that the only way you can communicate is through eye recognition. It's very advanced eye recognition software
Yeah.
that you have to be trained on that no one else knows how to use
Yeah.
in the room. And now you're writing books and
Yeah.
sermons and everything
Yes.
else with it. And yeah, it's going to take you, like it took her weeks
Yeah.
to do this stuff. She's
Yeah.
doing one letter at a time,
Yeah.
writing a book.
But yeah, this was like
But it
another
can be
one.
done,
She's
right?
stay here
So
to
if
sit
anybody's
on
out
my
there
computer.
suffering like that, look, you just got to have the will. I mean, she got through it.
Yeah, and we had great resources too. Like that company, there was this one Annie.
Yeah,
was
they still
great.
talk
Like
about
she lives in Chicago, but she was part of this company, and we would FaceTime her like, hey, how do we set this up? Like, how do we use this? Do whatever, and she would walk us through very patiently. Like, oh, get this, this, and this, and got us all set up.
I
so
mean,
we
the
would record.
patience to go to walk Butch Darlington through.
Yeah, he's a mechanic. He's been bent over the hood
He's
of a
like
car
trying
for
to take
the
apart
last
the
70 years,
computer,
and now
trying-
now you want him to use technology in an advanced way. Oof.
Yeah.
It works well though. They did a
Yeah,
good
they
job.
got through it.
They worked through. So I actually have a bunch of her recordings here, and some of them are really funny.
Is it time?
I think so.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, bring that mic.
So there's 300 of them. We're not going to do all of them,
Brock will
obviously.
be speaking on dual mics from here on.
Yeah. So I got just a bunch of her phrases with her voice. I think it's just kind of funny to see. We'll go through like some of her greatest hits. So one of the things that they told us to do when they were setting us up with this voice recording, they're like, when there was like 300. I want to say it was like 300 or so stock phrases. Like, we need you to say all these. It helps us synthesize voice, but you can also do an additional 300 phrases of whatever you pick. Like, it's your choice. You get to pick 300 phrases you can say that will record. So they're like,
She had to weed it out. She had to whittle
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
down. There
So
were several phrases.
Before we do we need a content warning, like hide your wife, hide your children?
Oh,
yeah,
there could
okay.
be,
we
yeah.
will do some. She does drop the F-bomb in some of her phrases.
Okay,
but
so
okay.
pre-warning now if there
I
are
mean,
children in the
growing
car
up,
while
I
you're
don't remember
listening.
hearing her say that at all growing up, but
Well,
as
we
an
heard
adult,
it a few
we
times.
hear it a lot. I mean, we've heard it.
when we were grown-ups, yeah, I think she
Yeah.
probably said it when we weren't around,
I don't know.
most likely.
If she was working on an ambulance, she probably
Yeah,
did.
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So,
Couple in there.
so they were like, just record a lot of the stuff that, you would normally say in a day that, normal people wouldn't say. So a lot of the stuff is like some of her stock phrases. Some of the stuff is just funny that is funny to hear her
We're
robot
gonna
voice
pass
say
it
it.
over, pass the mic to Margie from Beyond.
Yeah, so here's one of her favorite phrases. This is one of the ones she said all the time.
Wanting ain't getting.
And it's so funny because I still use that phrase like with my patients, like to this, like all the time. Like, I need my pain meds right now, and sometimes wanting ain't getting. I'm afraid.
Something else she'd say along those lines was, she would say, an emergency on your part is not an emergency on my part.
That's right. Yeah. Especially as organized, it would frustrate to her no end when people not organized were slowing her up. She's like,
Yes.
this is not. Come on, man, you're messing up my game.
Just such a tactical way to say no.
And then so they did a bunch of phrases again, like that. So this is one of the ones like because they had at the time their dog's name was Bella, so she had a bunch of commands like for Bella that she would do as
Did
well.
it work?
Yeah.
I don't think it ever
Bella,
did.
lay down.
Did Bella lay down? I have to know.
I honestly, I don't know if she did or not. I
She
don't
didn't
think
when I
did.
said it. She
Yeah.
didn't when Dad said it.
I don't think she listened even in Mom's normal voice,
Okay.
but
Dog didn't care.
she had to fill out 300 phrases. So,
Yeah, she said
I'll just yell at the
298.
dog.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
fine.
That's it.
so Mom was a good a huge Philly sports fan. So we got a couple of those here.
Go Eagles.
And then there was always some stuff that was kind of funny. So we got a couple of good ones here that are funny to listen to her say. This is a good one too.
Where the hell are we?
That was specific for my dad.
Yeah.
This is one as per request by Amy, because Amy did hear her say this one a lot. This is one she said a lot too.
Thank you, Jesus.
This is one I had to play this one for you guys because what was it yesterday? The day before, my dad gave me all this stuff because I was like, hey, I'm going to this podcast. I need to know what the heck I'm talking about. So I just randomly on here, they're just numbers in the computer. I had to get this key to find out what they're. So just randomly, I picked this one to play, and I just clicked it just to see if it would come through, if the audio was working or whatever. And this is the one that came out. I just randomly clicked this one.
My husband has permission to speak for me.
And without losing a clip, my dad said, "That's the first." I was yesterday. I played that. He was like, "Well, that's the first time I ever heard that."
She
one.
never used it while she was alive.
That one had dust on it when he hit
Yeah.
the button.
Yesterday when your dad messaged me, he said, I have some loose ends that I have to tie up. He's like, but nobody's here to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Excellent.
She preloaded a lot of that stuff. She told him what to do a lot.
Yeah.
Now he's just a
No
Lost
idea what
dog
he's
out
doing.
All right, just a couple of good ones that have like some. All right, here's the curse word ones. These are kind of funny. She did not curse a whole lot, but she's like, hey, if I'm not going to be allowed to curse anymore, I still want the ability to do
Yeah.
so.
I feel like they hit harder.
Yeah. This one I think is funny just because the way it's said, you could tell she doesn't curse so much because it's not said the way someone who says this when they're cursing is mad. She says it in a way it's like almost friendly. Here we go.
Well, shit.
Right? Like if I'm saying that, I'm saying it a little harsher than that. But no, that was just mom. She's like, well,
Very sing-songy.
yeah. All right, this one I'm gonna play. It just dropped the F-bomb, but again, this is just funny to hear her curse because again, she never really dropped it that much, so it's good to hear. Here we go.
What the fuck?
Wonder how many times she tried that one. Though.
Yeah.
You know, you, like, do you go through 6 or 7 of those?
Right,
Where you're
right.
like, no, that's not the hit I want on the end of it.
All right, I got just a few more good ones that are good.
Yeah, how are we on time anyway?
We don't track
We
our
don't.
time.
Okay, that's probably good. Well, how do you know how much to pay me?
That's true.
This is a flat rate.
Okay.
All right, so she also programmed a bunch of stuff. She kind of anticipated not being able to use her iComputer real well, so she had a couple of these type of things programmed in.
Hang on. I'm trying to get my technology working.
And you can actually even kind of hear, like, I don't know if it's just me because I know her voice, but you can kind of even hear when she was doing this, she was starting to slur
She
a
was
little
hard,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
She did. I will say, like in those scenarios, she did laugh about it though.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, like she took everything. It was commendable, like in stride, everything, even that kind of shit where it's
Yeah.
like the technology. I get mad at my phone, you know, and she's dealing with this to even be able to communicate, and it's frozen. Like it did. It's not like it worked perfectly
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
At church, one of the sermons that I went to at church, it froze, and it
Yeah,
kept
yeah.
repeating.
Yeah,
Same
that's
thing.
what I was.
My butt hurts. My butt hurts. My butt hurts. Yeah, that was a lot of fun sometimes too.
Yeah.
And then she, obviously recorded a bunch of stuff for the grandkids because she would even, she was as soon as she got diagnosed, she was like turbocharged all in on the grandkids. So she
Yeah.
had all kinds of stuff to talk with them.
Probably
That
the
was
hardest
one
part
of
for me is that
Yeah.
aspect of it.
Nanny loves you guys.
those. Yeah, she was nanny to the grandkids, so she had a bunch of that kind of stuff too. This is a good one. This is a funny one. This is one I want to make for my like text tone or something. Maybe I'm not sure how I can get at this. I need a tech person to help me out, but this is a good
Oh,
one.
there you go.
Yeah.
Annie, if you're out there.
Yeah, right. Here. This is a good one.
My butt hurts.
That's one of my favorites.
I don't know why.
Because she's in a chair all day long, and sometimes her butt would hurt.
I think it's fair. All right.
This is a good one. I came across this the other day. I was messing with these.
Would you cut some flowers for Nanny and put them in a vase?
So that was she like she like Brad talked about. She's big on gardens. She had They still have a huge. My dad's like, man, I got a weed dispensary garden.
I asked him yesterday if he wanted help. He didn't answer me. He read it, but he didn't answer me.
Yeah.
He won't. You just have to go do it.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, oh, thanks for
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
He's like,
that's,
well, I guess I can't dig up the garden now.
Yeah.
Like, no, Dad. I don't
Yeah.
think you can, man. He's over his damn fish pond. He's overflowed the fish pond like 4 times this year. He's out there picking up fish out of the creek. Like, I tried to fill it up, but I forgot the hose was on. Like, yeah, Dad, they like water, but there's a limit.
there's only so much.
They only like the deep end. Yeah. It's funny, but yeah. So he did it again this year. He did it last year.
Oh my goodness.
That feels like a job the grandkids should start doing though.
There's only one last one here that kind of illustrates kind of her humor, I think, too, and how she was like, I'm just going to make the best of what I got here.
Who programmed this voice machine?
So it was like a lot of that kind of, and it's really cool to still have that. I mean, I still have her
That's
voice. It's
that's
a lot
a
of fun
gift.
sometimes, too,
Yeah.
so.
That sense of humor she always had.
Oh, yeah,
and I think
never lost
and
that.
obviously you can see in this podcast we don't take much seriously, or if it is serious, the best way to cope with it I found is just laughing about it. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's we've gotten through. We had some hardship when we were kids, and it's just the way you deal with it. I mean, you just laugh through it.
Yeah.
And so even on our bad days, you're laughing about it. Or if he cries a lot. Look at him right now.
Yeah.
He's almost crying.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is that-
Always borderline.
There's one right there.
Yeah.
Always
So just
borderline tears.
Jabbing him.
Me
thinking-
too, Brock. I get it. I'm always
you
right
should've
there.
separated.
Yeah,
Should've
That's right.
Yeah.
The dead inside
Yeah, the
people on one
soulless
side.
over
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
With the mood ring killer
Yeah.
over here. But
Keep
yeah,
the tears on that side
Yeah.
of the table, friends.
yeah, I think she's like, we talk about what can I do for you guys? Like even in that, just as the person that's going through it, she's laughing about it all the time, and it's almost comforting other people. And that was something crazy to see. One of the other things that just was like, wow, it's my mom.
Yeah. That was
Anything
like,
she could do to keep the burden off,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just like, her faith grew, and I think my faith, I'm at church every Sunday type of guy, unless I was young and she made us go every
Yeah.
single Sunday and Wednesday and all that. So,
yeah, same. I'm not a religious person. I'm not.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
when
not a
this happens,
believer.
it doesn't help that, right?
Yeah.
I think you
Right.
want
Oh,
it
yeah.
to. You want to look for reasons and answers and all that stuff. And I've got my own relationship with God, as everyone does. But it didn't bring me into church more often. I'll tell you
Right.
that much. I was like,
Yeah.
how the hell does something like this even exist? This
Yeah.
is crazy. But she just got closer and closer. Then she said it's her calling. Then she's writing freaking books
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
eye recognition software that are good,
Yeah.
and these sermons that are like life
Do
changing.
you want to share the books?
I don't even know where you would get them, to be honest with you.
Dad's house. You go to Butch Darling. There.
He's not going to do it. He'll give them to you.
Under
Yeah.
the radio,
Yeah.
on the counter, under the radio.
He'll
I
find
will-
them if you weed the garden
I
at
will.
first.
I'll get that information. And
Yeah, we'll
if
get
you
it.
guys can post it.
Yeah,
somewhere.
absolutely.
So we'll get it. But yeah, she wrote books, and she wrote a lot of sermons. And it was kind of cool because she would use her eye gaze computer. So
Yeah.
basically, she would just type out these sermons, and then like I said, like hit go on the eye gaze computer, and this whole sermon would just play, in the church. I think I sent you. There's a YouTube video of one of the
Yeah,
ones
we're
that she
going to
did.
attach it.
So you
That's
can
pretty
attach
cool.
it too if people
Yeah.
were interested in seeing like what that looked like, what that sounded like.
Yeah.
I think the one I sent you was like 30 minutes into the video is when she starts doing her thing. So you
Okay.
can skip the early stuff. She actually did do, I think that one she did like the children's message too at the beginning
Yeah.
of that. But
That might have been the one I was at then, because I remember her doing a children's.
oh yeah, it probably was. Yeah.
Okay.
So and I brought with me, I think there's probably like 5 or 6 of these sermons that I'll give you guys to also post if there's any, preachers out there, you're getting like writer's block this week and you need a sermon. I'm sure she would be happy to have you use her
sure.
sermon for your Sunday
Copy
sermon.
paste.
Yeah,
Copy
just
paste.
make sure you give her credit. I'm
Yeah.
sure is the only thing
Yeah.
she would want. Other than that,
Yeah.
we'll put.
They won't
and-
even look all of a sudden and be like, if you want to say
Yeah.
ALS.
And they are actually they're
Wait a
they're
minute, it's the wrong one.
They are very good. She was actually very eloquent because
Yes.
she had time to just sit around and
Yeah.
do nothing else but write sermons.
Yeah.
So
But even before
Yeah.
this, your mom is an amazing writer, speaker.
Yeah.
She always liked wordplay. It was even when we were kids. She loved doing like I always remember even for us and our our grandkids, her grandkids.
You're old enough to have them. So it's okay. You can-
She would do like on like Easter and stuff. She would do like treasure hunts. Like there would be like you get like an egg and it would have a clue in it, but the clue would rhyme. It would have like a nursery rhyme, and or not a nursery, but it would like rhyme. You had to like figure out where you go next, and you had like 4 or 5 clues, and they all would like rhyme and stuff. And at the end, you got like your Easter basket or whatever. You know, she loved that kind of stuff. That was like her favorite stuff on holidays and that.
One of the things she did for you guys that I took and did with my kids was wrapping paper on the door, and my kids loved it.
Yeah.
Social
and
media
we just
changed.
always
Like everybody, we post that on social media, and now it's like
a lot of people.
we did it every year, and even as the kids were in high school, they still were like. The one year I wasn't going to do it, and they were like, "Are you not putting wrapping paper up?"
Yeah.
So
So
we
my mom
kids out
would
there listening. She's talking about when Santa
Yes.
wraps the door.
Yes, when Santa wraps the door.
Right.
Yes.
That my mom
Absolutely.
convinced him.
So the door, so the tree would be up in the living room, and the door to the living room would be covered in wrapping paper, so you couldn't see the living room.
Yeah.
And what was real torture for us, like my wife won't let me do it to my kids, but we used to have to wake up, come downstairs. You had to eat breakfast first before you could. Then you're allowed to bust through the paper and to go open all your presents.
Yeah.
We do it to my kids.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fine. They can suffer.
Yeah, I tried. I'm
It's
like,
that.
Shannon, we have to eat breakfast. She's like, I am not
Yeah.
gonna sit here and torture these children
Yeah.
with breakfast. They can just bust through. We'll have breakfast later. I was like,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, we
fine,
still
I
do
guess.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, kids are well old enough to not do that anymore.
So she was all about that. But yeah, a lot of these are really well written. And the one that I would recommend, I can't read it because I can't get through it. But the one that she has here entitled, I'll have you guys post, is called Let the Little Children Come to Me, An Unexpected Conversation with God. And that I thought was super powerful. So
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I haven't read them yet.
Nah.
I've started. I get through. I'm like, nope.
yeah.
Today's not the day.
Yeah.
And it's been
Almost
a
2
long
years,
time,
Yeah,
man.
right?
it's been a long time.
Yeah,
And
I'm there
today's
too.
not the day yet.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I'll be on a
it's-
boat on the Keys.
You gotta be the right time, right
sun
mindset.
going down,
Yeah.
and maybe. But
Yeah.
today's still not the day.
And that,
Yeah.
like, again, like, I mean, there's things to be said about knowing that you're going to die soon, you know?
Yeah.
Like, she got to kind of pre-plan for a lot of it. Like, she wrote all of us, like, letters, you know? I actually have some of them in here. I haven't even read them all yet. She wrote letters to the kids. She wrote and spoke at her own funeral.
Yeah.
So we used her eye gaze computer. She wrote her own eulogy and got to speak her own eulogy in her
Of course she
voice.
did. No one else would have done it right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, that's the thing. She's like, I
she
just
knew
better.
what she was doing.
Yeah.
She was just
Sounds
extra.
like she needed to do that.
Yes.
She was extra in all the right ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That is a comment I hope my kids make about me when I die too.
I didn't always think it was the right ways.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like everything that she does it was just crazy, and that standard or that sort of benchmark that she set is almost impossible to follow.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. She was a crazy, amazing lady. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we just keep on trying to match it, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like there are times I feel I don't want to say like I feel her like presence around me, but I feel like her what she instilled in me from her come out of me sometimes, you know? Like this week when all of a sudden I got this like motivation, this voice in the back of my head was saying to me, it was like, hey
My
man,
butt
you
hurts.
better
Yeah.
my butt hurts.
Yeah.
No, it was like it was saying to me, it was like, hey, you need to like write this stuff down because there's a timeline you don't remember it all. Everything happens so fast.
Yeah.
It's like this voice in the back of the head is like, hey, you need to like, you're gonna be on this world famous podcast as a celebrity guest. You better know what you're gonna
Coveted
say.
Michael Jordan episode
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, you can't just go in there and snivel and get snot all over the microphone for an
Too
hour.
late.
But that probably was your mom.
Yeah, and again, I feel like that's what I got from her inside of me coming out. You know, so
I'd see her. I mean, I think she's with me all the time. It's so weird. Like I sort of outed myself about the books. I haven't read them, but like I haven't been to her grave. I don't. That's not where she is.
Well,
to
there's
me,
nothing
right?
there. There's
Yeah.
nothing in there yet.
Yeah.
It's just that still
I
has
know, it's still in the
ashes.
show.
Yeah, it's still. Yeah, her ashes
Sorry.
are still in a teapot.
Butch,
on
turn
the-
it off. Just move channels. It's still teapot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still it's teapot on the windowsill.
Yeah. Under probably keys are in it.
So she has a grave and a gravestone, and her ashes are at the
Yeah.
house?
At the house, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And we can out that on a lot of stuff, right?
So-
This would be great. The cars, how many cars filled up that driveway?
Yeah.
Cars
That-
on top of
He
other
went on a
cars.
suburban buying spree after
6
Mom died.
Suburbans in one go.
Yeah.
He had 6 Suburban. She wasn't always with him then.
Yeah.
She would.
Yeah.
She was not in the back of his mind saying, buy that suburban, I can tell
Yeah.
you that. Yeah.
But
She's
he probably
planting
thought that.
extra weeds in the garden.
Yeah.
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 She's like, for every
That's
suburban,
right.
you're getting 10
Yeah.
weeds.
I mean, I had a conversation with her about where to put some of those ashes. There were like 3 spots specifically that I still need to get to and do that, and I will get there and do that. I think it's illegal to do it, certainly. Disney, I'm coming for you.
she-
Buddy.
Right. Do not do it in Disney.
Oh, it's happening.
She had
Brock will do it though.
she had like 4 or 5 places she wanted herself like spread around, and you know, Dad's got, she always big on teapots. She loved teapots, like tea sets. So they're actually in a tea kettle pot thing on the windowsill, but he's got a bunch. So you know, I said I was going to take some to my house just to have. I was going to put it in, I don't know, do something with it.
Yeah, you can do a lot with them.
Yeah, and my daughter, I think, wants something like Scarlett. So Scarlett's the oldest. My daughter Scarlett is the oldest grandkid, and I think she's probably going to be the one that remembers her the most, obviously, because she spent so much time with her. Like, she was the first grandchild, and you know, my mom called her Ladybug. And
Wrote
it's
her a
kinda-
book.
Yeah, she wrote like a book about
Scarlett's Garden.
Scarlett's Garden. Yeah.
She wrote the kids' books. Like she was just always doing that.
Yeah, she went on that whatever Snapchat. She would make up these the whole book would rhyme. And it's all about Scarlett's Garden or
Not
something.
Snapchat.
I was going to say she
What'd I
was on
say?
Snapchat.
She
All right. I just
I
want to be
recognize
sure.
the software, just a whole technology wave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was Snapfish or something like that.
Snap
Whatever.
something.
Oh,
the
yeah,
picture
yeah.
thing.
Snapfish,
The
yeah.
picture
Is
one.
that what it
Yes.
is?
Yes.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
So she went on there and
Print the
just like
picture books. Yes, not
wrote these kids
Snapchat.
all the books and stuff. But yeah, it's
Oh,
so
wait,
funny.
before we pass by this ashes thing, I just want to say, Because of Eli does not endorse breaking theme park rules to drop ashes.
That's
I just need to put
Don't
some
endorse
endorsements in here.
Brock's. People keep telling us we look alike. It's Brock.
Yeah.
I never ate where
Just for the listening audience, you guys do what you want.
Yeah,
What's the jungle?
I can't- I-
jungle
the Jungle
cruise?
I hope you
Cruise.
don't. I
The
can't
lake
afford
next
to
the
get
jungle
to
cruise.
Oh yeah, with the hippo jumps out and shoot him.
What?
What are you even talking about? Nobody shoots the hippo in that.
And the
movie?
jungle cruise.
You know they have changed it. They have upgraded it. It's
Well,
not the same.
He's not.
That's
He's
what I
not
remember.
It's not going,
He's
apparently.
not going.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to pay for that.
She wanted him to go right there.
That's
Yeah.
the most
She'll
important
get
part of
there.
me. Like the hippo
I'm not going to
almost got
swim
me.
across like that guy did
Yo.
recently.
That was small.
That's
A
a
small
no-go.
world.
Well, that was probably somebody putting ashes in there, and he was keeping everyone's attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
probably
That's
the
exactly
creative
what
distraction.
happened.
Like, all right,
Yes,
ready?
he was a
One, two.
distraction.
Is this what you tell me? I gotta go swimming in
No,
a small
someone
bet
rod?
on-
Someone
bet
did
on the
like get
streak or at
kicked
the
out
Super Bowl.
recently for taking him to the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah,
They
the
dropped
Haunted
ashes in the
Mansion
Haunted
is
Mansion.
apparently
I mean,
like
of all
a spot.
places, that
That's
Yeah.
where you need to
seems
be
like
the thousand.
Disney did it first.
Go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, right?
Dead
I'm
people
just
in there.
saying,
All right.
not recommended
Alright.
for our listening audience.
Then I'm not gonna do
Do
it.
not get
No,
kicked out
no.
of Disney.
I
No.
won't do it.
But it was funny. Scarlett brought home, it's the end of the school year now. And she brought a bunch of her artwork home, and there was a lot of her artwork had like ladybugs on it, you know. And there was one. I said, "Is this ladybug?" She's like, "Yeah, that was because there was a picture of just like a woman on there." And she's like, "Yeah, that's a picture of Nanny," but it was like a younger like Nanny when she was in her 20s, I think. So I don't know where she got that like picture from. Maybe downstairs we got. And then in our basement we have like a cork where we put like. We tack up those memories, like pictures of all kinds of stuff. We got Eli's guitar pick is down there, you know, that kind of stuff. So she's down there. She's all over that wall. So I'm sure she probably saw something.
Yeah.
That's one of those
That's
tough
so
parts.
cool.
Like you're right, Scarlett got the most time with her. She was such a great grandma, but like man, they missed out. Like my kids,
Yeah,
I missed
for
out.
sure,
yeah.
You know, like those all weekend long sleepovers with their cousins, and
Yeah.
like my mom would have been all over that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
And every time, you know, when kids are over there, it's not just like, okay, go play with your toys. It's
No,
like
she
got
got the
freaking
clipboard
artistic
and fun
has
for
a-
that too.
That's what
yeah.
I was going to say. There's
got-
planned
Yeah,
activities.
Yeah.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So, man, tough loss there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that again goes into the bucket of just, all right, well, breathe in, breathe out, move on. That's what Dad says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breathe, Jimmy Buffett wrote a song.
Yeah.
Breathe in, breathe out, move on.
So, yeah, her disease just kind of progressed from there, and it's like Brad was saying, like every day something new is missing now. You know, you can't use your arms, you can't use your fingers; they just stop working. and eventually everything stops working, and it gets to the point where the last kind of thing you're holding on is luckily just those eyes. You're still able to use an eye computer, communicate. But then it got to the point, even that just using her eyes, she would get tired out, and she would just sleep a lot because she was just even doing that much was tiring for her. And then so eventually the way that people with ALS will eventually pass away is respiratory failure, because thankfully, I mean, the one good thing about ALS, like I said, it doesn't affect your brain. So you're completely there. You're completely yourself the whole entire time. Like she always said to me all the time, she's like, I feel like I can get up and walk across this room. But when I tell my body to do it, it just won't do it. It's like I'm talking to a brick wall, So she always had, her mind was always there, which was good. And the other kind of benefit was that there was no pain at all. Like she didn't have any kind of intense pain or agony other than, the mental anguish of just not being able to do anything whatsoever for yourself. So eventually what happens is your the signals that get sent to your lungs to breathe for you, those nerves also deteriorate. And so you just can't breathe. So what, some people, this is again, the pros and cons of like, what do you want to do to keep going? What do you want to do to not keep going? Like you can get yourself intubated, CPAP, all that kind of stuff to force oxygen in, but if your lungs aren't compliant, sooner or later, you're just going to be, bag of organs pretty much.
Yeah, there's no cure. And then, there's medication that's in trial periods and stuff. So she went down that rabbit hole, and it's like, man, that's also cruel. It's okay, well, they're giving 75% a placebo and 25% the real thing, and we're thinking, just give everybody the real thing.
Exactly.
What are you going to do, make it worse?
Yeah,
this is terrible.
And she got the placebo.
And it made her like, she couldn't eat. It made her, it had side effects.
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Just give it to everybody, and 25% it works for I get it, kind of that's how science works, but man, that's cruel too.
It is.
Well, the problem is like
everyone, 100% of people have hope that it's going to work.
Yeah.
And only 25% get the real thing. And that 25%, it might not work.
Right.
It just, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had tried out a couple of those trial drugs, because one of the things that, like, so we went to see like the neurologist. He's the one who did the EMG test and said this is ALS. So from there, he's like, you need to go see it like an ALS neurologist, like a specialist. So I went with mom and dad a couple times to go see this person.
At Penn, right?
Yeah, I was up in Penn. They did a fantastic job.
Great people
Shout out to
there.
Penn. They did a very good job. My mom and dad are both very happy with the neuro team there.
Parking tickets, though. They got a couple parking tickets. His car got towed. He had to go there.
No.
Yeah, shout out to Penn Medicine.
Yeah.
But
Not
shout
Philadelphia
down
Parking.
to Philadelphia Parking Authority. Y'all can go to hell.
Yeah.
Sure.
My butt hurts.
Yeah. I hope your butt hurts.
Yeah, we hope your butt hurts. So anyway, so we go to this lady, and they kind of give you the rundown, and she's like, so officially the first neurologist, he's like, I think you have ALS. I can't give you the official diagnosis. You got to go to this lady. She'll tell you yes or no. So we did. We went in and saw her. She did an assessment on her, and she's like, I have to tell you, this is ALS. You definitely have ALS. This is what you need to do. And they kind of got us on the steps, like, there's only so much you could do. There's like all these trial drugs. There's a gazillion different trial drugs out there that are, everyone's trying to like cure it. But the problem is, so that gives you hope. Like, all right, well, maybe we can get on one of these ones that works, and we'll get the one. We'll get the magic, the magic bean, and we're gonna be awesome, and you're gonna be fine, and we're gonna stop this progression before it gets too worse.
Dangerous too.
Yeah,
That's dangerous
so
too.
Yeah.
that gives you a lot of hope. And I remember riding home from that doctor's visit. I was in the back seat, mom and dad are in the front, and they were talking about trying to get on these trial drugs. And I could feel like she was hopeful, but I knew it wasn't gonna be the magic bean. I knew it wasn't gonna happen. But you can't say that. You can't be Debbie Downer when everything else in the world is Debbie Downer for you right now. So just kind of she did. She gave it a shot. She's like, I want to try it. I want to try to find this magic bean. So I think she tried A couple of them. There was like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
like
that last one she did was making her sick. She
Yeah.
wasn't able to eat food, and it wasn't working, and she was on it long enough. She gave it a real, like, winner's effort, and I think after that one, it was like, yeah, you know, F these things.
Yeah.
We're not trying any more of these.
Well,
and you go in and out of this hope, too, right? Like, every time you get on one, it's, oh, this is going to be the one. Wow, yeah, this, that. You do all the research, and you need something, I think, to keep you busy.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. So doing that research and getting that hope is very important to keep you going.
and she even said, like, even if this doesn't do it for me, hopefully it'll provide data that helps
Yeah, again,
someone else.
thinking about other
later,
people.
you know?
Yeah.
But I think the time had come where it was like, we're not going to do this roller coaster anymore. We're just going to come to terms with what the future is going to bring and do the best with the time she had. And I think she did.
Yeah, and I remember she told me that she actually talked on the last one when she was like giving up on the drugs. She's like, forget these trial drugs. She had talked to one of the scientists that was running the one that she was on, because they were having so much trouble with it, and she got on the phone with the guy, and he essentially had said to her, he's like, look, all this research we're doing is really just a shot in the dark, because the disease progresses differently for everyone. So not everyone has, like, snowflakes. Everyone has a different disease process when it comes to ALS. So there's really, even when we get data, we don't know how true it is, because just because we gave you this drug and your progression is slower than someone else's, it doesn't mean that this is the drug that did that. It could just be that that's the way you would have done anyway. So it's like, even if we give this drug, there's really, the data we're getting is really hard to sort through.
Yeah.
So he's like, the trouble that you're having, I would recommend that you just don't do it anymore. She was like, yeah, I'm good. We're fine. I'm just going to do, focus on quality of life after that. And then, did the best she could.
I know this goes way back to the beginning, but, she sat us down and told us that she had it. And then we had the grandkids come and told them she had it. And no one gets it.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
all
of
their
course.
kids. They're not getting
Right.
it. But I saw the documentary, the Gleason, Team Gleason. That's one of the ones he's going to shout out.
Yeah.
We'll put the link to the documentary if you want to watch it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I watched that pretty early on. And it was like, oh, shit, this is a big...
It's bad.
This is a big deal. Yeah, this is bad. Like, it kind of gave a real awareness. And in that, I think you see what happened to us as well, where you're getting to these I say milestone, but it's really just another terrible thing, a hurdle that you get. And do you want to jump over it, or do you want to make this the last hurdle?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think you see, in that documentary, him suffer through a lot of those hurdles. And that happens for real. Like,
Yeah.
at the beginning, you set these lines that you're never going to cross, but I think you definitely need to, in your mind, be very flexible at that time, because is it her call? 100% it's her call, but put yourself in those shoes. How are you going to make that call yourself? You
Right.
have to have the people around you supporting you in that call. They're the ones that are dealing with it too.
Right.
So, like, she definitely didn't want to be the patient. She didn't want to put it on my dad and us and everyone else around her, but she's not ready to go.
Right.
So, that awareness after watching that and then experiencing it in reality was, it still kind of gives me chills. Like, oh, man, that shit gets real, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets real, and it gets real. Took forever, but it happened real fast too. You get to that
Yeah.
next hurdle and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, feeding tube, let's do it. That was a no-brainer. But in the
Yeah.
end, she had do not resuscitate, and at that time, none of us, I don't think, were thinking this is the hurdle that we jump over. I think it was.
No, yeah, she had said from the beginning. She's like, no matter what, I don't want to be intubated.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when you get to that point with ALS, you don't get extubated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's like, it gets to the point where you're going to intubate me. Just don't
That's
intubate
it.
me, because
Yeah.
it's time to be done.
We were all there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, me, Brock, and
Yeah, I remember. It's kind of tough because when she was diagnosed, it's hard on me because I knew as the nurse, like, I'm gonna be the one that Dad defers to for everything. I mean, ultimately, Dad he's power of attorney, so what he would say, if Mom couldn't make decisions, what he would say would ultimately go. But anything medical, he always deferred to me. It's like, what do we do? How do I do this? What do we do with this? Like, especially when she had needed nursing care, he's like, there's a Hoyer lift in the house. How do I use the Hoyer lift? Like, how do I change her? Like, showing her how to roll her back and forth, like using a Purewick at the house, like there's all that kind of like medical stuff that he was constantly calling me and asking me for. And it's just Dad too. I kept telling him, like, Dad, when you're ready to do this, call me. Because I live a mile away. I'm like, when you need to do this, call me. I'll come over. I'll help you. He was like, okay. And then I wouldn't call him. I call. I text him like, hey, did you do this? Are you ready to go do this? Or he's like, oh no, I took care of it. It's fine. I'm like, Dad, like,
Butch.
just
Welded,
let me come help you.
He
like,
took apart a Jazzy scooter, welded an engine hoist on the front of it, so that he could drive her to the wherever he needed to go, to the chairlift with this in this house, this like Jazzy scooter with a crane on the front of it. I still have that Jazzy scooter. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like just the farmers.
And he built the ramps in the house.
All the ramps. Yeah.
He built all kinds of crazy stuff. So again, like once they got this diagnosis, and it was not too long after she got diagnosed, she's like, hey, me and your dad had a good hard cry, but it's time we're get busy living.
Yeah.
So they were both kind of all in on that kind of stuff. And Dad's like, all right, well, we need to get these ramps built in this house. So he built ramps all over the house. He ramps outside, ramps in the house. He built. We went to. She had to get one. We wanted to keep her in her house as long as possible. Obviously, we wanted to be comfortable. There's a 2-story house. She wanted to sleep in her bed as long as she possibly could. So we went and got one of them stair chairs, like the mechanical ones.
Yeah.
So, but we didn't buy one.
No, come on.
We went and disassembled one from someone else's house who didn't need it
Installed it
anymore.
in their 125-year-old.
There was an
farmhouse.
ancient Victorian house, like an hour away. We're driving Dad's Suburban, one of his many Suburbans. Drive up to this lady's house, and he's got his basket of tools, and he's like, all right. And he just took this thing apart, and just piece by piece, just, there's a bolt here, undo it. He has never operated a stair chair, apparatus ever before, but he figured it out.
Yeah.
She's extra in all those right ways we talked about, but Butch is, anyone that knows Butch,
He's the logistical guy who gets the things done that she
He can do
dreams
anything.
of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much, yeah.
and he's been, to have him care for her, I think he couldn't have asked for anybody better.
Yeah, that was my biggest problem was he never would ask for it. He never would let us
he
help.
never does that.
I know you need help because she's a big lady. It's hard to move her.
Yeah.
So
And, there was one time your mom told me that, she was upset because your dad had to take care of her. And I think she had a conversation with your dad about it. And he said, for better or for worse, this is marriage.
yeah.
That's
He's
just
like,
who he
He's
is.
just the most patient
He's like,
guy
what?
I've
He's
ever
like,
met.
what do you want from me? This is the assignment. Like,
Apple fell far from the tree on that one, though. I'm not. I don't know where it went.
speak for yourself.
Yeah, he. But even him, I mean, he's like the strongest man I've ever met in those ways too. Just his level of patience, his ability to do basically anything. He always does for other people.
Yeah.
Never asks for help himself. Anyone that knows him will tell you that. But even he, in those 5 years, had bad days, bad weeks, and you have to trick yourself into getting to the next day. However you do that, if it's the breathe in, breathe out, move on that he did, or if it's the bitching or screaming in traffic by yourself, and whatever you do, he found a way through it.
I think I've seen my dad lose his temper once, maybe in my entire
probably
life.
you, never on me, not once.
Yeah.
Never.
Sure.
Why would he?
Yeah.
No excuse.
Yeah.
He's somebody else.
Yeah. So
That's
that's
a different type.
kind of how. So the last day, I'll never forget because I kind of always knew it was going to be my kind of expertise or like the advice he asked for me that
Tai Chi?
would be needed at the
Chai
end.
tea.
Chai Chi.
Yeah. Like,
I'm an expert. Chai Chi.
and that anticipation was rough too. Like the whole time, like from the time she was kind of diagnosed, I'm like, man, I know that there's going to be a day when it's going to be like on me.
Good time to be the dumb kid.
To say,
Good time to be the black sheep.
yeah,
They don't come to me for questions.
no, not asking him about
Nope.
anything medical.
Nope.
So I knew it was going to be on me to decide, like, ultimately kind of like the decision, like you said, when to stop jumping hurdles. Like, I kind of felt like that was going to fall on me sooner or later, and it did. I remember my dad had called me. It was night before she died. It was probably, I don't know, 8, 9 o'clock. He said, Mom's having trouble. He had a pulse ox. So we told him how to use pulse ox and everything. She looks like she's struggling or whatever. And she had like a CPAP at home that we would kind of use to help with that a little bit because the CPAP kind of pushes air in, so when your lungs start to, be non-compliant, the CPAP can help a little bit get your oxygen level back up. So I remember that night, it was probably 9 o'clock, he had called me. He said, hey, your mom's pulse ox is low. I said, what's that? He said, it was like 87. I said, okay, that's too low. I said, put her on the CPAP machine for a little bit, see how she does. I said, okay. So I said, put her on that. I said, call me back in like 30 minutes. So he did. He put her on it, called me back. I said, all right, she's up to like, I think it was like 91 or 92. Even though I'm like, all right, at this point, I feel like she's not going to get a whole lot more than that without like, more intervention than what we have available to us. So I said, is she comfortable? Is she in pain? Because she can still talk, like she's still using eye gaze. Yeah. I said, is she comfortable? Does anything hurt? Does she feel short of breath or anything like that? And Dad said, no. She said she feels comfortable. She's just tired. I said, okay. I said, all right, let her go to sleep. Because I knew it was either now I had a really bad feeling that in the morning was going to be worse. So I had to make the decision at that point at 9 o'clock at night. Do I send my dad to the emergency room with his ALS wife to sit up all night long and watch them, just watch machines beep at her all night long?
Yeah.
So that's what I said. Let her sleep in her own bed. Call me in the morning. Tell me how she's doing.
It was the right call.
So the next morning, Dad called me. Said she's on the CPAP. She's at 85. I said, all right, coming over. So I came over, looked at her, she was tired. She's kind of tired, laying in bed. And, I'm just talking to my dad. We're kind of talking it through, like, what do you want to do? I said, I think we're getting close to the end, Dad. I think this is going to be the way that she goes. I said, I think it's time for her to go to ER now. She's at 85. It's the point now where her brain is not going to oxygenate enough to, be functional. He said, okay. And so we asked Mom, like, this is something I always do with my patients. Like, even if my patient can talk to me or not, even my dead patients, when I, have to put them in the bag.
Probably a lot of them with your care.
I talk to them. I always talk to, like, So we're talking to Mom. Like, Mom, this is what me and Dad think. Your oxygen level is really low. We think it's time for you to go to hospital. Are you okay with that? And then she used her iComputer, and it's the last words I ever heard her say. She said, I think I'm going now. So we said, all right, let's load you up. So put her in a chair, put her in her power chair, put her in, Dad has, funny, he has all this stuff rigged up to, they went on his sidetrack. They went on a trip one time, like a road trip, but they had no way for her to use the bathroom because her power chair was huge. None of the rest stops have really big enough for her to get in. And how's Dad supposed to go to the women's bathroom?
Right.
So Dad's like, don't worry about it. I got you. He got just a box trailer. I just made a portable bathroom in the box trailer. Yeah. So they just had a trailer with their bathroom in it that they took on this road trip.
Yeah, they borrowed a friend's trailer they used for bike week, like a Harley bike week.
Yeah.
Turned it into a mobile.
Oh my God.
Put a bathroom, put a toilet and everything in there. He had
on a weekend.
He had a bidet in there. They had a bidet to help get her cleaned up, So
That's
for him,
amazing.
more for him than her, probably. But
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
He's fancy.
Yeah,
so anyway, we get her in her power chair, and we got her loaded into the van, her handicap van. And at this point, like, I knew it was probably going to be, this is going to be her last trip, to the hospital. But you don't know how it's going to, I mean, that process could take a couple days before she actually passes or whatever. So I sent that off to the hospital, and I called, this is kind of a funny conversation. So I called the hospital, being an RN, I know that, patients like that, they'd like to have a heads up. So I called the hospital and said, hey, my name's Brock, I'm an ER nurse. I said, I'm sending my mom to you. My dad's bringing her. She's on the way. She's in the end stages of ALS. She woke up this morning and her pulse ox was 85. And he's like, "Oh, sir, you have to call an ambulance for that next time." I was like,
Oh, next time.
Next time.
Oh, my God.
Noted.
I was
Yeah,
like,
thank you.
and I said to him, I'm not sending her to you for you to save her. I'm sending her there so that she can die. Mm-hmm. So they were expecting her. My dad, it was funny. He was like, man, we got there. They were ready. They whisked her right back into bed. Now it's like they knew we were coming. I was like, they knew you were coming. Dad. I told them. So they did a very good job. They get her into the room and just kind of hooked her up. And I think they had got to my dad said he eventually called me later that afternoon. I think it was something like that. And he said, "Hey, it looks like they're telling me that she's on the way out. You guys need to come over."
I was hosting a pool party while all
Sure.
this was happening.
Oh, wow.
Excellent. Good
Yeah.
timing.
I wasn't
Yeah.
crying like him.
Yeah.
He was having
Working
fun.
on my bass and enjoying some cocktails.
Yeah.
So we came in and just kind of sat there with her, and I got to hold her hand when she passed.
Yeah, we were all there. You know, it's good to be there. Like I said before, I think obviously it was the right call that you made. Those decisions aren't easy for anybody to make, but you're the most educated, believe it or not. And yeah, I think it was the right call, and it was time. I mean, it just was. She knew it. We all knew it. You know, it just was. It was a long road to get there. I went back to the pool party after and didn't say a word.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was kind of the
Everything's
tough
fine.
part too. Was like when I got home, like
Yeah, you don't want.
I didn't tell
No,
my kids right away.
weird.
Yeah. Give them that.
Yeah,
Extra time
I think I
without-
told them later that afternoon.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think maybe I told him the next. Oh, my kid. We were having like a party. I don't know. I just didn't. I just.
Yeah,
acted
that's pool
fine.
party's
and
not
just
the-
kind of.
You don't want to be the downer. Like,
Yeah.
If they're at my house for a party. It's
no one's coming to your pool party ever again.
It's obviously the last party they wanted to go to. Now I ruin it with mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everybody deals with this stuff different.
Yeah.
Are we gonna start recording soon? What do we talk about on this thing? Anyway?
That was a good
Great story,
first run
Brock.
through.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a good practice run.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm still dealing with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think
it's
it's something that you always
Yeah, I
always
don't-
gonna
Not
deal
dealing
with.
with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Still not dealing with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Is a better way to put it.
Yeah, in grief, I don't think there's ever like an end to it. It's
Yeah,
ongoing.
yeah, I agree. It's always gonna be there. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
My wife thinks it's super hot when you cry. And
Brock,
I don't cry.
that's
I mean,
super
she'd
hot
be
when
all over
Brock
you right
has
now.
You
But
give her nothing. Then,
I
huh?
broke down that there's like a Mexican restaurant in Dewey, or not Dewey,
Oh,
Louis
yeah, I remember that phone
Agave.
call.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I was
dude.
going to say Erica.
Agave,
That's
I love
Erica's
that spot,
territory.
right? I
Agaves.
broke down over margarita in that
Aw.
restaurant,
Yeah.
but it was early in her like disease
Yeah.
after I'd seen the movie that
Yeah.
I talked about.
Yeah.
But yeah, before it got really bad, and I just like had a breakdown then, and
Yeah.
then since then, not
Yeah.
Yeah.
another one.
It is weird though, because the strangest things
So
can
weird.
just set you off. Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like I had a couple friends, like close friends, die as a teenager when I was young, and I think me and my immediate friends group, I think, have a weird way of coping with this shit.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, probably very unhealthy, but it works, I guess,
Yeah.
or doesn't work.
If you're functional,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Some
Oh, okay,
definitions
so yes,
laid
not
out on
working.
that
Got
one.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, if you're out on the boat, sun's setting, it's gorgeous. You get those chills, or a good song comes on, and it's just like, oh, all right, there she is.
Yeah.
You know, or your butt hurts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, sure.
it's there she is now after today.
Going forward, every time my butt hurts.
Like,
Yeah,
Margie,
no.
Margie, come here so I can smack you. Was one that we were looking for that for the
Yeah.
for the audience. We were looking for that one because she used to say that all the time.
Yeah, she
Come
had a
here
lot
so
of-
I can smack you.
She has a lot of
One-liners.
phrases and
Yeah.
stuff that she used to say that we still used to say, like "Come here, come here so I can smack you." Is one she
Yeah.
used to say. I actually wrote a couple down because we use them all the time.
Something she used to say first. She's the first person I ever heard say this. A hitch in my get along. I was like,
What-
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I don't know if she knows what that means either. But
It's
she
like when
said
you're-
it all the
it's
time.
like when
say it
you're-
all the
Yeah, she said
time.
it all the time.
It's like when you're walking with a limp or something. Like, why you got a hitch in your get along? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with your foot? You know, whatever.
I mean, we get our sense of humor from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Her
for
mom
sure.
had it. She had it.
Yeah.
I have it. He has yet to make me laugh.
I'm harnessing it.
Yeah.
There's more Tai Chi.
Work on that Tai Chi.
Some of the other, one of the things that she used to say a lot, it was always cracking. She actually got it from Mary Poppins. Like, when you watch the original Mary Poppins, she measures herself, and her height is perfect in every way.
Practically perfect in every way.
Yes.
So she
did
would
say
that
that all the
she
time.
stole that. Like, you would be like, "Hey, Marge, how you doing?" She's like, "Well, I am perfect in every way.
Yep.
Thank you very much."
I mean,
like that was her
the
thing,
Disney
yeah.
movies.
Yes.
I've seen everyone. She had everyone on.
That
repeat.
musicals, too.
Musicals.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
we still
I don't know how many
like
times
my
I've seen
wife.
Oklahoma and State Fair and
Yeah.
to
My
Hello,
wife
Dolly and
hated
all that.
musicals, and now White Christmas every year. I mean, it's all those.
yeah.
Yeah. So those things stick around. And
Yeah,
that's
it
for
does.
sure,
It sticks, and something that's really cool that I see, like in my kids, like stuff that she did with them, like sticks. Like Scarlett's very artistic. She loves doing art, painting, drawing, all kinds of stuff. Like that,
Yeah.
you know? So, and I feel like that kind of creative outlet she got from my mom, because my mom always wanted to teach her like how to sew and crochet and like.
Yeah,
You know,
your mom
make-
tried to teach me how to crochet too.
How'd it go?
It didn't go so
No.
well.
The patience thing.
Yeah,
She was into that stuff. She just was.
Yeah.
yeah, she loved being. She was not super artistic, but she was very crafty. She
Yes.
loved like crafting stuff and like her big thing was stamps. I remember when we got our first house in Scarlett's room, she loved doing those stencils on the wall,
Yes.
and she stenciled all of Scarlett's walls to make it look like a garden.
Yeah.
You know, it had like fences and there were birds and plants and stuff all over the wall. that
She
kind of stuff, yeah.
stenciled Dr. Black's office.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She got into that for a while. Like she loved stenciling stuff.
Yeah.
And Butch is always the tag along that has to actually.
Yeah, he
execute.
cleans up the
He
paint
cleans
stuff
up,
afterwards.
He sets
yeah.
up
That
the
is
ladder.
a great partner to have.
He cuts
Yeah.
he cuts the stencils out, and lines them up so they look right. You know,
Yeah.
and then she
Does he?
does the painting.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it's like seeing like remnants of her kind of pop up from time to time is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
a,
this whole thing was a real downer. I thought this was some sort of a happy. I don't know.
I was here. I thought I was going to win Super Bowl tickets.
I was looking for like a Leon Phelps voice out of you, and
No,
no,
you want me to use an accent or something? Nope.
I got my cup off the
do you want to share your resources?
Oh yeah. So I asked my dad about this. I said, hey, you know, one of the things they do, because long-time listener, first time celebrity guest. I said one of the things they do is they like to shout out the people who helped you. So he's got quite a few. So I'll start with these people here. It's the PTOT people who worked with her. So it was actually kind of convenient. I guess they got the ALS down on science over there at Penn. You go upstairs to see your neurologist, visit with them, and then you go take the elevator down to the first floor, and the PTOT is right there, and then you get to work with them for an hour or whatever they do. So the people there, he said, did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Like they know how to work with people with ALS. So their PTOT normally is, let's get you better, let's get you strong, let's get you back to your normal self. This is, let's help you deal with your deterioration.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So-
keep what you have as long as we can,
Right.
and figure out how to use it as it's going
Yeah.
away. Like figure out new ways to do things.
Yeah.
They were great. I mean, I took her several times up there, and
Yeah.
that whole team is just great.
Yeah, they give you like specialty utensils and plates and stuff that help, you know, when you have limited kind of movement. So that was the Good Shepherd Penn Partners. They're the physical therapy that works with Penn Medicine, and specifically the occupational therapist Megan Reed. Dad said did a very good job, and Jolyn Fox was very helpful. That's the physical therapist, I think, that helped her out.
Wow.
And then they needed, Dad got really lucky in that our whole kind of community came out to really support. My mom, like I said, she was involved in the community for a long time, so everyone knew, like it's rare to walk around Salem County and not have someone who knows my dad or my mom.
Right.
We'll be at my dad's house and people will drive by honking and waving at him and be like, who's that? He's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll be at
happens.
Disney and people walk. I mean,
Yeah, everywhere in the world I've been,
Yeah.
and people, hey Butch, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, how you know that guy? We're like 1,000 miles from home. So we had a lot of the community come out and help. One of the places was Farmers and Bankers, the brewery.
Yes.
They did they made a beer for my mom. Actually, they still make it.
Ales for ALS is
Yeah.
the I guess
program. Yeah, there's a program called
program.
Ales for ALS, and the profit that they make, portion of that profit that they make from selling my mom's beer goes to ALS research.
Yeah, I think growers donate. They'll tell you more about it. I think growers
was-
donate
it
to
was
support
delicious.
ALS.
Is that where
yeah.
we went?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
Darlington IPA was there. They did two this
There's
past
two.
year, but it's whenever the hops come in.
Yeah,
So
I
the
went
growers
actually
donate
earlier
the
today. It
hops and then
wasn't
a
there,
portion of the
so
produce.
it's only there every once in a while. But yeah, they did a Darlington IPA, and then there's another Darlington something. I forget what it was. They
Lager
did-
maybe.
Yeah, something like that. But they were both pretty good. But they don't have them all the time.
Yeah.
And they get one of the products they use to make the beer they get at a I don't know
I think the
discount rate or
hops are
something.
donated from a grower that
Oh,
also
wow.
is in.
So it's a lot
the
of
program.
donation,
Okay.
paying it forward kind of
Nice.
stuff
Yeah.
going on
Yeah.
there. So they helped
We
out.
just
They
totally bastardized the whole thing, but I'm sure that people,
Yeah.
farmers and bankers, can walk you through.
we
Yeah.
probably got it way wrong. But it was really
Or
cool because when they
eloquently.
did like their big reveal for the beer, or whatever, they had like a big party at their
Yes.
place, and then mom was there, and then the place was packed. Like there was,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
it was a lot of fun. We had a good party that day to support my mom and her disease process. So that was awful nice. And there was a couple.
The Gleason Foundation.
Yeah.
So Team Gleason's a big one. So
Yeah.
when you talk about the eye recognition software, the chair, I mean, this technology is great that it exists, but it's not cheap. I mean, this stuff is
Yeah.
incredibly expensive. So there's a lot of resources, even for someone that's not tech savvy, that's in their
Yeah.
late 60s,
Yeah.
approaching 70 out there. So, if you guys know anyone suffering, just Google it. There's a ton
Yeah.
of stuff. We'll put all this in there, but it's
Yeah.
not hard to find it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's there.
Team
Yeah.
Gleason, they were responsible for helping us with the iComputer and the power chair that she got. Her power chair was a godsend. That thing was had to be
Yeah, it's
super
like 30
expensive.
or 40 grand. These things are insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
30,
But it's
40 grand,
nicer
I
than
think.
my car.
Yeah,
was
sure.
that thing.
Well, I mean,
And
got
she
it
could
already.
stand up with it.
Yeah, it could like kind of almost stand her almost completely
Yeah.
all the way up.
Yeah.
It could
Wow.
raise her up. So if you're at like a bar height table or something, you could raise her up so she's eye level with you while you're hanging out.
Yeah, Dad just gave that to someone else that needed it, right? So once you have it for a certain period of time, it's just
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah,
let
I
you
guess they
keep
couldn't
it.
take it back. Or
Yeah,
couldn't reuse
something
it,
like
so
that.
You just
So
had to
he pays it forward.
donated it to somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
And then Bridging Voice, we talked about. They were the ones that helped her, do all of her phrases and get her voice on the computer. And then there was a group called Public Partnerships that, I guess the way that worked was because my dad was caregiver. They gave money to my mom to pay for her care, so she was allowed to use that money to pay my dad. Like
Yeah.
certain
Yeah.
hours out of the week, he was allowed to get paid for taking care
Yeah.
of her. And they also paid for they had some other aides come in to kind of help out, like do laundry and that kind of stuff. They had those a couple times a week. They helped out with that too.
Yeah.
So.
Would
then-
you want to know if you had it?
Good question.
Yeah, that is.
Oh.
A good
That's like
question.
some other neurological diseases. There are tests like Huntington's that
Yeah, they
if your
they
parents have
asked
it.
when we found out
Yeah.
if we wanted to go get tested. I know.
Yeah.
I don't remember being asked that.
Well, they didn't care if you had it.
They
I guess.
they said,
They
well,
wanted to protect the talent in the family.
Probably.
they can only
They
do the
would have
test on
stopped
one. They
with
were
one
picking
if they were happy
They
with
picked
one.
the best.
Okay, they would have stopped with one.
Highest quality.
I'm the oldest too,
Yeah,
so I
they
get
would've
it.
stopped.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like,
So
"Nah,
yeah, I
think
guess we
gotta give
Brock,
us
we
another
failed.
shot here."
Yeah.
We failed.
Would
as
you want to know
children.
if you had it?
That's a good question. I don't think so. I don't think so. I just want to. I would want to just keep on keeping on.
do
What
you
about
find
you?
yourself watching for
Do you want-
symptoms?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll, you drop a glass, and be like, oh shit, was that?
Yeah.
Is that ALS?
Just
Yeah.
sort of
Have
Tai
it?
Chi.
Yeah.
I'll pick it up. Be like, all right, I picked the glass up. Okay, I guess I
Yeah.
don't have it.
Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, for me, so much. Yeah, I worry about that. My biggest fear is like my kids. Like,
Yeah.
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 what if I have to watch my child just go through that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that can be.
Yeah.
What? This is gonna sound awful, kind of dark too. One of the thoughts I had while my mom had it is I thought to myself, what if she asked me to help her die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God she never did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been ready. You were
Yeah.
ready. You would have done it.
I have had people ask me to help them
yeah,
die before.
for
I've
sure.
had patients in the
As a
ED
nurse,
saying,
they haven't asked you, and
just a
You were just
lucky byproduct of my
practicing.
he's like, "You're asking the right person." I got you set up
So-
right here.
Just
Yeah,
assign
that
them
was-
all to me. Send them all over.
There's
That
this
was-
tray of medicine. I'm not sure what it is.
pick your favorite. Yeah. I like
I
the
like
bright.
the blue ones too.
I like the bright ones. More colors usually means more.
So I was
fun.
baiting you with the question.
Yeah.
Oh. Why?
because she asked me to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in my mind, I just assumed I did.
You just assume you have it.
Yeah.
You just go through life assuming it's going to
think
happen.
So I mean, look at what my last like 12 months is. I think the assumption is just, well,
It checks a lot
do
of
it while
boxes.
you can,
like,
man. Do it while you can. Yeah, it checks a lot of
Yeah.
boxes.
Yeah.
Not even just in the last year. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't know if that's the right or wrong.
Well,
I mean,
I
there's
mean-
risks with that too, but
There,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's probably a question I would want to pose to your audience right now. I
Yeah.
mean, like,
Yeah.
I don't think they can.
what would you
Well,
do
something
Not
to
in
think
front of a
about.
live
I waved
audience,
at
but
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing.
if you get a phone call that says you're going to be dead in 5 years? What's your next step? What's your next plans? You know,
Yeah.
mom and dad, like dad retired. They cashed out a bunch of retirement money as much as they could.
Our
Like,
inheritance.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably was supposed
Gone.
to support me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my old age, it's
Yeah.
gone. But they bought.
Your inheritance is time with your mother.
Gone.
Yeah.
I got a jazzy scooter. He turned into a damn.
Sure.
You got 300 phrases that's your
Yeah.
inheritance right now.
Someone could
Yeah.
take that stair lift.
My butt's sore.
That's
My
that
butt's
can go to
sore.
your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best ringtone ever.
Yeah.
You know, all kinds of great
It
stuff.
worked out. It worked
So yeah, they bought a camper. They went camping like crazy,
Yeah.
you know, as much as they could until she couldn't anymore. And then they, you know, I think they got rid of it for about the same what they paid for it. It was a big thing. She was like, she's like, I'm going glamping. My final days, I'm glamping this time.
And those were hard to come by.
Because
during
we always had the
COVID,
cheap
so-
camper. We would go camping. We had like our camper. We bought at auction, you know. So,
Yeah.
but it was like this time she was like, no, we're gonna spend my money and we're gonna get the good stuff. And
Yeah.
She
go do
liked
fun
to
stuff.
travel. I think that's
She
one of
loved
the
it.
things that she didn't actually get to complete was like a cross country trip.
Yeah.
She just
Yeah.
the condition progressed to the point where it wasn't really feasible to do that. She did get a couple extra trips to Disney, which she wanted to do with grandkids.
Yeah.
We every time we could, we traveled. You know, we
Yeah, just
did
spend as
all that
much
kind of
time as you could with her
Yeah.
while you could, you know.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. But even that got hard too for her at the end because she was just always so tired all the time, and even like I said, talking on her computer, she would get worn out on that. So
Yeah.
you basically just go over there and watch her sleep, you know. So it's like, all right, well, I don't really need to be here for this, but at the same time, you kind of want to be there for that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
struggle too. Like, you know, there's times where you're just not doing anything. You're at home.
Yeah.
Should you just go over and
Yeah.
sit with mom?
Like, I'm sitting here watching
There
the
were
Phillies
days
game.
that I
I should
didn't
just
do
go over there and watch the Phillies game with her because she's probably watching it too.
Yeah.
Like I wish I would have done that more.
Yeah.
It's too late now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no solution to that
Yeah.
problem other than the fact that, me too. I think everybody too. That happens to everybody that's in
Absolutely.
any type of a similar position. So beating yourself up about it is not worth anything. It's
You're right.
just-
Yeah.
So
You can't change it.
But
if
you're
you want
here
to.
sharing her story.
Yeah. And we did
keeping her
get lucky
memory
that we
alive.
have a lot of stuff that we have all this. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
that's
lot of people don't
crazy.
have their loved one's voice after they pass away. I mean, how much
Absolutely.
of Eli's voice do you have? Probably
Yeah.
not.
Not
You got
that
the- do you have
many.
the
Just the
voicemails
videos that I've
on
taken.
your
Did he ever
phone?
tell you how bad his butt hurts?
Yeah. No, I don't have that.
I have proof.
I'll send it to you. I got a voicemail from him. Yeah, there's that too. You know, there's the voicemail on the phone. I just recently, we're getting ready to change phones. I'm like, gotta make sure everything gets over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was weird. The one we got a text message from her phone like well after she died.
No way.
And I was like, "Can you take me off this chain?" Because it was like a family chain, and it was I guess they gave her phone number away to
Yeah.
a random person.
Yeah,
We're
that
like
happened.
on a family
Oh,
chain, but
no.
she's still on there.
Yeah.
Which that was kind of funny because we're like, all right. But the
Yeah.
thing that sucked about that though is I had to delete her number out of my phone, and it took
Yeah.
away like her picture, and now her number is
Yeah.
not in my phone. Like,
Well, I still,
there's a blank spot in
I
my
still
text
have
messaging.
it.
Yeah.
And I have a voicemail from her.
Yeah,
too.
I have
do you
it.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's funny because like the
Yeah.
printer he's got like a Wi-Fi printer where you can, and it'll just go off and he's like, she's sending me instructions.
Yeah, he told me that. I remember him
He's
telling
sending-
me that.
She's giving me shit or sending
Yeah.
me instructions,
Yeah.
complaining about too many Suburbans.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah, that's probably how she would do it. She'd
I-
find any way to communicate.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but the laughter I think is always key. And probably everybody shares it. She had a great sense of humor. Passed along to us. We
Yeah.
laugh at ourselves whether or not everyone else does. It's
Yeah.
really irrelevant.
On a regular, yeah, all the time.
Yeah. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely
There
amazing.
you go. We're lucky to have her for sure. Like I said, I didn't realize till I was a grown up how lucky I was.
Yeah.
Like how good of a mom she was until I saw other people. I was like, geez, like your mom treats you like that?
Yeah.
Man?
Yeah, I'm like it's funny because she was like a really mean substitute teacher. Do you remember this? Like,
I never had her as a substitute, I don't think. Well,
Well-
I've always behaved in class, too, so.
Oh.
I don't know.
yeah, you probably did. Well,
Tracks.
I don't know if she was a mean substitute teacher. She was strict. She was strict with us when we were kids.
She was strict as a
They
person.
were strict.
She was strict but fair. She was a strict but fair person.
Well, it
I think.
wasn't
Says
fair
the
to me.
oldest
I
child.
yeah,
Says the
it
firstborn.
wasn't
I
fair to
know,
me.
Brad's like,
because
not fair
that's
to
not
me.
what I wanted her to say and do.
Brad and I are youngest.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite.
we know.
Yeah.
But it was, your peers and stuff are like, oh, Margie, substitute, whatever. But then as an adult, like, you go to the funeral, or like, we would be the party house. We were the house, like, if friends are going somewhere, people would come over our house in high school and hang out
Yeah.
and play, and my parents are there, and they're in the mix too.
Yeah.
Like, all my friends love, so yeah, they're just fun people. And
Yeah.
how they did what they did, I mean, I can't do that. I don't think it's possible anymore. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
They somehow managed. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yep. That's the story of Mom.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing
Yeah.
her.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're very welcome.
thank you.
This is helpful to me. Hopefully helping other people, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And, obviously this is because of Eli, but this episode is definitely because of Margie. And I hope that we reach others that are going through this or even diagnosed with ALS.
Or even just any terminal illness. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be ALS. It has to be
Yeah.
a loved one who's struggling. Like she said, the struggle is real, but you got to get through it whether you like to or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah.
leave this with you, with your listeners, because I know Eli was huge on music.
Yes.
And I heard this song live, and it immediately made me think of Eli. And the message in the song is something I think a lot of people who are struggling with mental health and anxiety, not even that, if you're just having a bad day, I feel like this song puts a positive message, a good feeling inside. So the name of the song is called Hold On, and it's by the Slackers. So go on your favorite music listening device, give it a try. It's a ska song. I'm a huge ska fan, have been since the 90s.
Shout out Slackers.
Yeah, shout out to the Slackers. But I heard this song. I heard they played in Philly not too long ago. I heard this song live and immediately thought of Eli, and it was a song I heard and I was like, man, I wish Eli would have heard this
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
And it brought a lot of emotion out in me when I heard it. So I think it's worth a listen, if you're willing. So
I'll give it a listen for sure.
yeah, it's a song about like someone seeing someone else struggle, but you think you're doing really bad, but you're not as bad as you think you are.
Yeah.
You just got to keep going. So, but the message is a positive one, I think. That's why I like ska music. It's all positive vibes. So, but I think that's worth a listen.
Excellent.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing
Thank
that.
you.
Absolutely.
It's a great way to end our episode.
Yeah.
So again, thank you
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you
having us.
for being here.
Great to be
Yeah.
on. I'm going to wave bye.
Yeah.
Great celebrity
We're all
guests.
gonna wave bye.
We're waving goodbye.
Goodbye.
Where do all these
Listening
people
audience.
park? I don't
Goodbye,
even know.
world.
It's crazy.
See you next time.
Stay tuned.
I took the lead. Somebody's heart.
Unexpected conversation with God. Good morning and welcome again to Woodstock Presbyterian Church. I am so glad you are all here. Ever since I saw Walt Disney's Mary Poppins years ago, I have adopted the response perfect in every way whenever I am asked, "How are you?" And for the most part, it brings a chuckle to the conversation. Up until the last few years, it was a humorous, if not always true response. When a tree falls in the forest and no one is there, does it still make a noise? When God whispers to someone who is distracted, are his words heard? I have been told many times and often recently that I am amazing, or that I have an amazing faith. While this is a kind and generous compliment, I fear that credit is misplaced. I am a firm believer that God speaks to each one of us at some point in life, probably many more times than we even realize. But if we are distracted by life itself, we cannot hear his whisper. The world is a noisy place. Our brains are even noisier. If we are distracted, how can we expect to hear him? The fair way to respond to the compliment I have mentioned is that I have an amazing God. I am doing no more or less than what the Lord has called me to do for him. Although it is always wonderful to hear that I am amazing, it just isn't the truth. God has done amazing things for me and through me since I have started to lean on my mustard seed of faith, and I am obeying him by sharing it with others. God may not wait for you to carve out 5 minutes of your week to say, "Okay, Lord, I'm listening now. What do you want to say to me?" God doesn't work that way. I have had several conversations with any number of people who don't know if God has spoken to them. The most frequently asked question is, how do you know if God is speaking to you? My answer is simple. If it's God speaking or showing me something, it will not leave me alone until I complete the task I am given. But if it is a thought of my own or something someone else said, it will leave me almost immediately. Now, I don't know if God has spoken with you or anyone else this way, but I am not amazing, and I don't know about special gifts. I am simply doing what is asked of me. When I do that, I have a peace in my soul. We are all God's children. On this I am sure we can agree, and as such, we are invited to go to Jesus, sit at his feet, and not be hindered in doing so. The book of Matthew makes that very clear to us all. Let the little children come to me and do not hinder them. Why give attention to the children and women in a time when women and children were barely counted as human beings? Could it be possible that the children, on the day of their birth, the brain is pretty much a blank slate, a sponge waiting to be filled with life's lessons? Children are completely trusting at the beginning of life because their world is so small. The world, to them, consists of a mommy and daddy, possibly a few grandparents, and maybe a sibling or two. The infant only knows unconditional love. That child will know safety, trust, and love. These are all the things a wanted child will be sure of. But, oh, how things change as he or she grows up. The blank slate fills up, and the sponge becomes saturated day by day, year by year, as those life lessons come to light. Lying, for example, is a learned behavior, and it is only when the negative consequences are met that we come to realize how bad lies can be. Babies are born without doubt. It is the doubt shows up when disappointment happens. When deception, bullying, favoritism are introduced, that's when and how they learn what heartache feels like. So, then, as adults, with slates and sponges on overload, from learning too many of the wrong life lessons, we come to church. We sit through the sermon, trying not to fall asleep. We are taught to believe in a God we can't see and read a Bible we can't understand or verify. I mean, we want to believe, don't we? But it is hard to do. The whole world has been working on us for a long time. Our slates and sponges are heavy laden. We are full of sin, no doubt, and have learned our fair share of negative behaviors and life's lessons. We need to remember what Jesus said in Matthew, "Let the little children come to me." Since we are agreed that we are all God's children, we can also assume that we are included in the invitation. But when we go to the Lord, He wants us to come as a child, with a somewhat empty slate and less than saturated sponge. Jesus loves each one of us unconditionally, and what He does comes from a place of love, safety, mercy, and strength and understanding. He will protect us from all harm. I recently woke up on what looked to be a promising, beautiful day. The sun was out. I could tell through the closed curtains. Although I couldn't feel the temperature, I was certain it would be warm enough to go out to our deck and garden for a while and enjoy the fresh air and bird song. Why, then, did I have tears running down my face? What could be the cause of the waterworks? I know one of the symptoms of ALS is crying or laughing at inappropriate times. But this time was different. I no sooner said those words to myself, and I answered my own question. I don't want to live like this anymore. I can't do it. I can't live like this anymore. It is not fair to me. I have done all you have asked of me. It's not fair to Butch. He has done nothing to deserve this life sentence without parole. I have prayed every day, day and night for over 3 years for you to hear my pleas. Make me whole again, or take me home. End my anguish. God's response came quickly. What do you mean you can't live like this anymore? I say that you can't live like you were living anymore. Well, I was stalled out there. I have been thinking all along that I was trying my best to live according to His words and what I have learned to that point. So, typical of my behavior, I launched a defense. I was active in the church choir and the youth group. I was half of the decorating committee, the other half being Aura. Butch and I tithed to the church, and I had made all of the costumes and secured all the props for the live nativity, and I had more of this litany for my defense. But again, I was stopped mid-sentence by his whisper, "You leave Butch to me. He has his own path to travel. His journey is none of your business. What I am asking you is, what makes you think your life before ALS was better than the life you are living now?" He continued, "You thought you were living your life, but it was not your best life, not the life I chose for you. You became my lost sheep. You wandered away from the herd, thinking you were leading the way, leading the others to greener pastures. I had to come and find you because you didn't even know you were lost. Until I made you sit still and listen, you thought you were living your life for me. You thought you were living by my word. But it was I who was whispering, and you who did not hear me. I have been with you for every single step of your journey. I have much yet for you to do before you can come to my house and rest." Now, he had my full and complete attention, something that I clearly had been lacking in previously. The Lord continued to patiently correct me. "You thought that by fixing something or decorating my house, that you were doing all that I required of you. Also, you're a judgmental child of mine. You seem to think your solution is my solution to any given issue. I tell you that you have done more for me in these 3 years than in the whole of your life before, unless you can hear me now as I speak to you in whispers. I directed you to share my messages. At that, I jumped right into the deep end again. I did share your messages. I had books made up. I have had a TV interview. I have taken your messages to another church. What about all of that? Again came his patient reply, you don't get to decide what is enough. I will tell you when your assignment is completed. And on that day, you will be healed and given a whole and healthy body, or you will be with me in the home I have prepared for you. Well, alrighty then. I don't have to wonder anymore if he hears my pleading. Jesus stopped the flow of my tears on that beautiful Saturday morning. He turned my day around by helping me to see clearly that the life I chose to live is only a hint of the life he has yet for me. A life to carry his messages wherever he sends me. I am ready for my next assignment. Until then, I will take my mustard seed of faith and share it with others until it grows into the unquestionable, unquenchable faith of a child, where I can sit at the feet of Jesus Christ. There is no better place to be. Let's pray together. Loving and gracious God, we gather here today to praise and honor and glorify your name. We know that you love us unconditionally. We need your guidance and blessing for each and every day. Help us to remember Jesus is the only one who can help us do what you want us to do. And help us to remember we are welcome to come sit at the feet of Jesus Christ. There is always love, safety, mercy, and strength and wisdom to be found there. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Group of
As always, thank you for listening. In closing, we hope we helped a few of you feel more validated, more heard, and seen. If you are supporting someone who has lost a child, please remember to say their name, talk about them, remember them. And as always, we are here because of Eli.